paradigm of absolute control. And that's why we're just out here doing simple things, pointing out that we're meant to be in nature and be natural. And this is where we find the source that God made to transcend the New World Order. And that's why they want to try to keep us out of it.
I'm angry. I've had enough of these people. They're a bunch of Christian murderers, scum. They're on giant death factories, keeping babies alive and selling their body parts. What more do you need to know about these people? I go out and face these scum. They literally crawl out from under rocks. They have green looking skin and they run around screaming, we love Satan, we wanna eat babies. I have them on video. Hillary's in the creepy, weird, sick stuff, man. She sleeps in the same room with that creepy, weird woman whose mother wears a hood over her head. What the hell? That woman number one is ugly. Imagine how bad she smells, man. I'm told her and Obama just stink. Obama and Hillary both smell like sulfur. Here to rule vampire pot, then the goblins are hobbling round coming after us. My spirit gets close to that evil and I feel it go. We're such self-centered crap, we don't even notice hell itself rising up against us. Millions of pointed people of the very worst type, and I'm so pissed. We're gonna stab your daughter at the mall. We're gonna stab your wife, your son. Gonna stab you with a butcher knife, and then the police chief is gonna say, we love our Somalis, we love our Muslims. Oh, they're so good, oh, they're so sweet.
I was watching Fox News as I worked out this morning.
Karen left the waterfall, bound for Fairview Road. Good afternoon, my friends. I hope everybody's doing well. Happy Saturday. Man, dude, listen, man. Leave it to Aiden to give us something to talk about throughout the weekend while we wait for Monday. I mean, dude, this is the craziest shit I've ever seen. Like, what in the fuck is going on? And you know what's funny is like there's going to be a lot of creators and a lot of like law tubers and shit like that are going to avoid this issue, and they're going to wish they hadn't, because I've said it before and I'll say it again, and I'm going to say it over and over and over again. You cannot properly tell the Karen Reed story without telling the Turtleboy story. It cannot be done properly, because all of this shit, whether it seems like dumb drama or not, fucking matters. Like, it is a thing, whether you like it or not. This stuff they are intertwined. And I see Cherry's in the chat. Yes, Cherry is back, y'all. Give it up for Cherry. She's back. It's back, people. And so with her help now, I haven't read any of this shit. I've been posting and commenting based on things that I've been seeing on X, Twitter, but I have not actually read the article yet, and I have not actually read this Affidavit yet, and I have not read the Mighty Mark Bettero's filing yet, which I will go over. We're going to be here for a minute, folks. So,
oh, here we go.
I think we got a super dad. Super dad. I think we got a super dad. Super dad. Super dad. Super dad. I think we got a super dad.
How dare you?
Dennis Ballin, thank you so much. Appreciate your coverage, raw and unfiltered. Please tell me the connection to the stud, Bernie Federko. Okay, a lot of you already know this story. I've told it a few times, but I'll tell it real quick for Dennis. I mean, it's a $10 story. So, no. So, when I was a kid, I was in foster care for a while, and I had a big brother, from the Big Brothers Big Sisters thing, and this was in St. Louis, Missouri. Jen's Gifted Couch, thank you so much. I want to see the receipts. I know they have. Yes, I agree, and I love the handle. Thank you. So I had this big brother from the Big Brothers Big Sisters program, and we used to go to a lot of cards games and blues games, and cards games as football. Like it was that long ago when the St. Louis Cardinals, when St. Louis had a football team called the Cardinals before they went to Arizona. Bernie Federko had just Bernie Federko actually had a broken jaw. Like, he got hit in the face with he took a hockey puck right to the fucking grill, dude. And he was out. I remember when I first saw who he was. And then I think I caught one game. Not sure. I can't remember. It was so long ago. I was 12. I was 11, actually. I was 11. And then we lost touch. Like, I grew up, I moved to Miami with my mom, and we lost touch, and decades literally go by. And I found him on Facebook, and he was like super thrilled. He was just like, wow, I can't believe you found me, or whatever. And then he was like, I have something for you, and you were the first person I thought of when I got it, and I just didn't even know how to even get a hold of you. And then he hold on, Cherry is a sociopath. So she's interrupting this very heartfelt story because her needs are more important than anybody else's, just so everyone knows. There we go. And so he sends me a video, like, well, he's like, give me an address, blah blah blah. Give him my address. He sends me this in the mail, and you know, it's signed. You can't really see it, but it's signed right there in the 4. And no, it's not a calendar, people. A lot of people thought it was a calendar. It's not a calendar. So I've actually had people go, hey, can you change the date on your calendar? It's driving me crazy. Like, no, it's not. That's not the wrong date. So he signed it, and he sent me, when I got it, I was like, oh my God, thank you. And then he sent me a video of him having Bernie Federico sign it, you know, so I have like that authenticity of it, which is amazing. And then before we actually got to make plans to meet, COVID happened, and he died allegedly of COVID, and we never got to meet and see each other again. So I'll always have that, and that will always be up, and I will never sell it. And I would shed every pint of blood that I have to protect it. But yeah, that's the story, Dennis, of that Bernie Federico jersey. And Dennis, thank you so much again. Thanks for the explanation. You're welcome. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it. So let's stay on track here. Now, oh, you like the shirt? Yeah. So this is in the merch store. Now, the merch store thing, I'm glad you brought it up. Actually, I want to get this out of the way anyway. So we were going through Teespring. Cherry will share the link. Some people have had problems with it, so, you know, at your own risk, order through Teespring. I ordered mine through Teespring. I didn't have a problem. A lot of people ordered through Teespring. They didn't have a problem, but I don't like even just a couple of complaints. If there's more than one complaint about their service, I take issue with that. And so Cherry has gone ahead and taken the liberty of changing distributors, merch distributors. So we're just waiting on the approval from them, and then it should be up in the next day or two tops. and then we'll have some new merch up for that too. Seeing as how I'm learning how to use AI, which makes things a lot more fun. So as you can see in the thumbnail, but so new merch is on its way, and the stuff that was already up is going to be available as well. But I appreciate all you guys being here. Let me go ahead and pull up Turtleboy's article. Or should I just go over let me just go over the filing first. Because let's approach this from a legal standpoint, shall we, folks? All right. So here is the mighty Mark Bettero's filing. I'm going to go ahead and read that. And it's defendant's third motion to compel required discovery. To compel required discovery. Required discovery, people. Okay? Now comes Mr. Aiden Carney. And I think it's really, really coincidental, people. I got to point that out too. We have these issues we've had these issues for the past 3 years with the Commonwealth in the Karen Reed case. And it's got to be so fucking coincidental, right? That Aiden is having the same issues the last year and a half in his case. How's that? That's got to be a coincidence, right?
Oh, here we go.
I think we got a super dad. Superman. I think we got a super dad. Superman. Super dad. Super dad. Dad, 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 dad. I think we got a super dad.
How dare you?
Jeannie Lynn, thank you so much. Foster kid for 6 years. The struggle is real. I knew you were strong for something. Love you, Will. Appreciate that. Well, there was kids a lot stronger than me in there, man. I'll tell you that. Pearl, thank you so much. Missed this chat and the glare, but I've been listening. Life just calming down after my husband was defibbed from full cardiac arrest and surgery. ICU. Oh my gosh. Free Karen Reed. Justice for John O'Keefe. Pearl is awesome. Pearl, I miss you so much. I hope your husband gets much better. I'm so sorry that you're going through that. So I find it interesting, and I also find it interesting that on top of those little tidbits of facts, that we've had this trouble with the Commonwealth, and and defense in both cases have had to file motions to compel them to share discovery, and then Bev is making this huge stink over some text messages that are irrelevant to ARCA. Text messages between ARCA and Karen Reed's defense. Unreal, dude. Dirty Hanky, thank you so much. Ready to rumble. The truth has a tendency to seep through. It sure does. Truth is always there. That's the thing about the truth. The truth is always there. A lie you have to make up. This is the physical explanation as to why the truth prevails. There's a physical explanation. There's an explanation in applying fucking physics to why the truth always prevails and always reveals itself. The reason is because the truth is always there. The truth isn't manifested. The truth is always there. A lie you have to make up. A lie you have to manifest. You have to conjure it. But the truth is always there. That's solid. That's solid. It's set. Now comes Mr. Aiden Carney and respectfully moves that this honorable court, pursuant to blah, 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 compel the production of the discovery detailed below, which has been requested from the prosecution multiple times since October 8th, 2024, and which disclosure is required to prior orders of this court and imposed by Rule 14, the 5th and 14th Amendments of the United States Constitution, Article 12 of the Massachusetts Declaration of Rights, Brady versus Maryland, Giglio versus United States, and Kyles versus Whitley. Specifically, the defense has made 3-letter demands, the better of letters, for ordered and or required discovery concerning civilian Catherine Peter, Crusty Panties, who, on information and belief, is working as an agent for the Commonwealth in their prosecutions against Mr. Carney and Karen Reed. Although our first demand was made more than 6 months ago, the prosecution has neither provided the defense with any of the requested discovery, nor indicated that none of the requested items or information are within the possession, custody, or control of the prosecutor, the prosecuting office, or any member of the prosecution team. As amended on March 1st, 2025, indeed, the prosecution hasn't responded at all to any of the demands made in the October 8th and 17th, 2024, and March 29th, 2025 letter demands, all of which describe in great detail and good faith basis for for our belief that the prosecution is in possession of evidence that requires disclosure. Let me read the footnote here. Mark A. Betterow to Special Assistant District Attorneys Robert Cosgrove, dated October 8th, 2024, October 17th, 2024, and March 29th, 2025. Ms. Peters' relationship with the Commonwealth and the prosecution's required obligations under Rule 14, Brady and Giglio, constituted that the entire substance of the October 8th, 2024 and March 29th, 2025 letter demands. All of these letters have been previously filed with the court. In addition to the outstanding discovery demands referenced above, Mr. Carney's defense has since received further confirmation that such evidence exists. Significantly, this evidence is described in the sworn affidavit of the acquaintance of Ms. Peter, a copy of which is attached hereto as Exhibit A. As detailed by the sworn statement of the witness, Ms. Peter has admitted to the witness that she has had a long-standing relationship in which she has assisted the Commonwealth in their efforts to prosecute Mr. Carney and Ms. Reed. Ms. Peters' relationship with the Commonwealth and its key witnesses against Mr. Carney and Ms. Reed include evidence that, among other things, she regularly speaks to and meets the Reed prosecutors, receives monthly payments from the Commonwealth in exchange for her assistance against Mr. Carney and Ms. Reed. Wow. Received items of value from key witness Jennifer McCabe, was granted de facto immunity from prosecution in exchange for her assistance with the Commonwealth. Holy shit. Holy shit. Altered, destroyed, and or disposed of material evidence, including the contents of her cellular phone that would be favorable to Mr. Carney, admitted her intent to start rumors, quote unquote, about Mr. Carney's purported harassment of jurors to further the Commonwealth's unsuccessful effort to ban Mr. Carney from covering the Reed case. Uses her social media platforms to help the Commonwealth circumvent a gag order in the Reed case. Stalked, harassed, and spied on Mr. Carney, Ms. Reed, one of Ms. Reed's attorneys, and supporters of Ms. Reed. Admitted that fake victim, Lindsay Gattani, lied about a material fact relevant to her criminal allegations against Mr. Carney. Significantly, according to the witness sworn statement, Ms. Peter admitted to her that Jennifer McCabe issued an ultimatum directly to District Attorney Morrissey in exchange for her favorable testimony against Ms. Reed. She would not testify until, quote, Turtleboy is in jail, end quote. Ms. Peter further told the witness when Ms. McCabe was told that the Commonwealth can simply subpoena her, she implied that if her demands were not met, we would alter her statement or alter her testimony in a manner designed to harm the Commonwealth's case against Ms. Reed. Dude. Yeah. Did everybody just hear what the fuck I just heard? Because that shit is wild. Yeah, I missed Supers, Cherry, because I had another screen up and I was reading a document. Okay, I apologize, folks. If I missed any supers, I will go over them later. I promise. Okay. You guys are going to have to excuse Cherry. She likes to yell at me a lot. Well, there's no sense in going over them, arguing about it right now, Cherry. If I said I'm going to go over the ones that I missed when I was reading, then I'll go over that one too. Okay? Okay? Anyway, folks, so let's go over this list one by one. So she regularly speaks to the Reed prosecutors, receives monthly payments, dude, monthly payments from the Commonwealth. Now, Betterow wouldn't state this shit in a motion unless he could prove it. Betterow's not just going to say that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, Anybody who's sitting here and acting like, oh my God, this is just Turtleboy when he writes an article, there's no receipts. First of all, Betero filing this motion to a judge is fucking receipts in and of itself. I vouch for Mark Betero 100% because Betero does not say things unless he feels absolutely comfortable saying them. And he's damn sure not going to file it in a goddamn court document unless he could fucking prove it. That's amateur hour shit that not even amateur lawyers would do. That's nothing. That's just plain stupid. So anybody who's sitting there and going, oh, I don't know, it's Turtleboy's word against Krusty Panties. No, dude, it's not. It's a little bit more than that. It's a little bit more than that. I guarantee you that this would not be filed unless it could be proven. That is a hell of an accusation. That is a hell of an allegation. So monthly payments from the Commonwealth, it says, okay, in exchange for her assistance against Mr. Carney and Miss Reed. A paid agent, folks, to do what she's been doing, to make videos, to spread lies. A paid agent, folks. And received items of values from key witness Jennifer McCabe. We know what that is. I can't wait to get into that. Yo, big shout out to my boy Joe Flipperhead, dude. Joe Flipperhead was on X today, just fucking wrecking her shit, dude. We're gonna go over a lot of that. That's gonna be fun shit. We're gonna go over Krusty Panty's response to this shit because it's just priceless. It's really funny. So, and she was granted de facto immunity. Now, I don't know what de facto means, okay? But she was granted some kind of immunity from the prosecution in exchange for assistance with the Commonwealth. So help us frame Turtleboy, and we'll make sure that you never get charged with anything. We'll make sure you're never convicted of anything. Just go out there and fucking Whitey Bulger style shit. Do whatever the fuck you want. Just get us Turtleboy. Dude, that's insane shit. It sounds made up. It sounds crazy. I don't blame anybody for fucking feeling like that's fucking crazy. That sounds crazy. But I'm telling you, Betero would not put that shit in there, in that motion, unless he knew he could prove it. So, and then it goes on to say that altered and destroyed or disposed of material evidence, including the contents of her cellular phone, that would be favorable to Mr. Carney. Okay, so so they could prove that she fucking destroyed her SIM card or whatever the fuck. I don't know what she did, but they could prove that. And her intent to start rumors about Mr. Carney's purported harassment of jurors, which let's talk about who participated in that shit. Let's talk about who participated in that shit. Who participated in perpetuating the unsubstantiated rumors that Turtleboy was tampering with jurors, that he was interfering with jurors in the Karen Reed case, in the Karen Reed trial. Let's think about that. Who did that? Who participated in that shit? Off the top of my head, Plevin. Off the top of my head, Plevin. Maybe Grant. Kim Fair. Everybody in the Food Stamp 5. Every asshole with a bullshit handle and John's badge as a manipulation tactic as their avatar. You're all full of shit, by the way. Every single one of you sorry motherfuckers that put John's badge up, who sit here and try to perpetuate framing two innocent people. Fuck you for that. Putting up John's badge up as some sort of ploy to fucking manipulate people into thinking that you're on the right side of things. You're not. Because you wouldn't have to lie and you wouldn't have to manipulate in order to get the truth out there. I haven't said one thing that was not true or didn't disclaim it as my own speculation. I don't do that shit. And I don't abide by that shit either. And it's real funny because this was the impression I had of Turtleboy from other people before I ever even read an article. I made sure I don't even want to fucking hear Turtleboy until I'm ready. I don't want to read shit. I don't want to watch one of his videos. I don't want to hear nothing about Turtleboy until I'm ready to. Until I get to a point looking into this case where I'm like, okay, I need to know what this Turtleboy dude is saying. And then sure enough, I looked into it and I could see why he rubbed people the wrong way, sure. But he didn't rub me the wrong way simply because he wasn't doing anything illegal. He wasn't even doing anything unethical, anything that I found unethical. I mean, sticking a phone, the biggest thing everybody it had a big stink about was that he showed up to Jennifer McCabe's lacrosse game, Jennifer McCabe's kids' lacrosse game, right? Stuck a phone in her face, started asking her about the 2:27 a.m. search, which we fucking know happened, by the way. And shows up, sticks a phone in her face, and he's trying to hold her accountable. Now, why didn't Turtleboy follow the example of everybody else who was trying to hold Jennifer McCabe accountable for that 2:27 a.m. search? Trick question. Nobody was holding Jennifer McCabe accountable for that 2:27 a.m. search except for Aiden Carney, a.k.a. Turtleboy. He was the only fucking one. And now here we are. That's a fact. That's not deniable. So what example is he supposed to follow? The one where nobody had the balls to hold her accountable in whatever fashion they see fit, but they were sure quick to criticize his methods, weren't they? And aren't they? I love that shit. I love that shit. People who never even had the balls to ask a question. Well, I wouldn't do that. Don't do that. I'm nobody to fucking tell Aiden how to fucking get to the truth when he's the only one trying to do it. Who the fuck am I to do that? Who the fuck is you to do that? And that's a fact. These are not suspicions. These are not, my perception of things. This is fucking fact. Who the fuck else was trying to get to the truth? Therefore, who the fuck has the right and the authority to tell Turtleboy to question the manner in which he gets to the truth? I mean, sorry it makes you uncomfortable. It's a bummer. It's a bummer that it makes you feel bad. But you know what? It's a shitty world, man. And in order to get to the truth and in order to get justice for the right people, sometimes ugly things are exposed to you. That's life. Somewhere along the way, I don't know what the fuck happened, but instead of holding people accountable for their shit, we became a society that makes excuses for them. There's always a medical reason. There's always a psychological medical reason for somebody's shit. You know? I mean, that's where we're at. We're in a society now where we don't hold people accountable anymore. We make excuses for them. And then we whine and bitch about how fucked up the world is. That's my favorite. Lindsay, thank you so much. How long has Auntie Bev had her Shelley Long haircut? That's funny. That's funny. Thank you. I mean, that's where we're at, dude. And just because people like Turtleboy go against the grain, because there was a time, and I've talked about this before, this was standard investigative journalism, these tactics. The only difference was there was a fucking notepad and not a fucking cell phone. That's it. There's the only difference. But now we're in a society where we make excuses instead of holding people accountable. And so now somebody who is holding someone accountable, they're inevitably going to be going against the grain, and people are going to have a hard time swallowing that pill. But some of us understand. Some of us understand that this tough love kind of shit is necessary sometimes, man. It just is. I mean, what do you expect? People are like, I can't believe the world is going to where it is. All these things, all these terrible things are happening. All these people are doing all these terrible things. The reason why is because nobody's holding them accountable. People are making excuses for them. So when you make excuses for people, what do? They indulge in the same destructive behavior because there's nothing to hold them accountable for it. And then we're going to whine and bitch about it? This is why it's a no-brainer to so many of us, where we look at the people who are like making excuses for the McAlberts, and we're like, what? Because we think this way. We understand it. We see it. It's happening in our faces. Nobody's holding people accountable anymore. And all that's happening here is we're holding the Alberts accountable for not, we're holding Brian Albert accountable for not waking up and coming down there and helping a fellow officer, for hiding behind the excuse of sleep when we know he wasn't sleeping. There's no way someone with his experience doesn't sleep with one eye fucking open. There's no way a guy who lives that kind of life doesn't fucking sleep with one eye open, dude. And he's going to have fire trucks and all kinds of shit in his yard and not wake up. No, nobody believes that. Nobody with any common sense believes that. Only assholes and idiots are going to make excuses for that. I bet you he would even tell you that. I'll bet you anything Brian Albert would even tell you that shit himself. He strikes me as the kind of guy. If this was a completely separate situation and he was just a spectator in it all, he'd be like, why the fuck didn't that guy wake up? You're not going to fucking tell me that guy slept through all that shit. You know how I know that? Because every fucking experienced cop that I've ever talked to says the same thing. Lena, thank you so much. Love you and your show. Do you remember when Hank said he was going through Morrissey's phone because he didn't trust the Taint team? This makes it even more clear. Exactly. And I still have a bunch to go over before. Sorry, guys. Bev should have grave concerns about her pension. Yeah, that's a whole nother fucking conversation right there, is Bev. I mean, I could just go down this list. I could go down this rant. I don't want to, though. I want to get back on track. I apologize for going on a rant. I want to get back on track and read this motion because we got a lot of stuff to go over, man. And I don't want to dude, this is just crazy. All right. So I know that I picked up right. Miss Peter further told the witness when Miss McCabe was told the Commonwealth can simply subpoena her, she implied that if her demands were not met, we would alter her testimony in a manner designed to harm the Commonwealth's case against Mr. Carney. Wow. Or against Ms. Reed, excuse me. Ms. Peter further admitted to the witness that on March 16th, 2025, she met with Miss McCabe and D.A. Morrissey and Braintree. And when the witness saw Miss Peter shortly after that meeting, Miss Peter had a manila envelope with her. And it just hit me who I think I was racking my brain trying to figure out who the person who wrote the affidavit was, or who the person on the affidavit is. And then I was like, does it really matter right now? You know what I mean? There's a reason why it's redacted, so fuck it. You know what I mean? I don't give a shit. And then it just hit me as to who I think it is. But I'm going to leave it alone. But it just hit me. I was just like, okay, all right, it tracks. It's not fake victim. Dude, you don't think Turtleboy would have been like headline that shit? Fake victim fucking under sworn affidavit admits this, and this about Kate Peter. Like, that would have been the headline for sure. So let me go. Okay. None of the foregoing items or information has been provided to the defense team by the Commonwealth, despite several prior requests in addition to the pre-existing Rule 14 obligation. Based upon the information provided by the witnesses' sworn statement and the contents of our 3 previous letter demands, there is a strong reason to believe that there exists discoverable information and material in the Commonwealth's possession, custody, and control, whether the Carney or Reed prosecution team related to Ms. Peters' involvement with the Commonwealth and or witnesses who will testify against Mr. Carney. Prosecutor also has a duty to inform each member of the prosecution team whom he has reason to believe may be in possession, custody, or control of discoverable items or information, and to then inquire of each person as to the existence of such items or information. Thus, at a minimum, the prosecutor must address the issues raised in the affidavit and letters demands with D.A. Morrissey, Hank Brennan, Adam Lally, Laura McLaughlin, Miss Peter, Miss McCabe, Kenneth Mello, Brian Tully, and John Fanning. Any discoverable evidence then must be immediately collected and promptly disclosed to his defense. This, of course, includes prompt disclosure of any evidence that the Reed prosecution team has in their possession, custody, or control, which adversely impacts the credibility of any witness against Mr. Carney, otherwise favors him or casts doubt on the case against him. The Commonwealth's disclosure obligation to Mr. Carney remains irrespective of any purported view of the evidence's reliability, credibility, or admissibility, and without regard to whether the information has been documented in any manner. In other words, where the subject matter is discoverable, the prosecution must promptly disclose any information derived from conversations or interviews between or among Ms. Peter, the relevant witnesses against Mr. Carney, and any members of the Carney and Reed prosecution teams, even if it was not memorialized in any way. Wherefore, Mr. Carney respectfully requests that the court, 1, order production of the requested and any other outstanding discovery within 14 days of the date of this motion. 2, promptly schedule a hearing thereafter on the issue of sanctions under Rule 14 for the unexcused failure to provide discovery and for the misconduct of a government agent. 3, issue an order to show cause upon the Commonwealth to an evidentiary hearing as to why the case should not be dismissed with prejudice or be the subject of such other relief as is authorized by Rule 14, and for any such other relief as the court deems just, meet, and proper. So another banger from the Mighty Mark. Okay, so oh man. So yes, we love the Mighty Mark Betterow. What else do we got here? Now we have the sworn affidavit that we're going to read here real quick. And let me go over supers real quick.
Oh, here we go.
I think we got a super cat. Super cat. I think we got a super cat. Super cat. Super cat. Super cat. I think we got a super cat.
How dare
Yo, is my man in here? Is my boy in here? I don't know. I'm seeing stuff in chat that indicates that, but welcome, homie, if you're in here. So let's go over a couple of these real quick. Maybe Proctor got a couch too. Thank you so much. Okay, we went over that one and that one. And what has Krusty and Plevin said today about this? We'll go over that, I promise. And then yes, we went over that. I remember that too. I remember that. Hold on. Okay. Between this and the week's revealed perjury, the cracks in the Commonwealth prosecution have become unrepairable. The corruption is exposed. It absolutely is. It absolutely is. Lucy, thank you so much. I absolutely love you and Turtleboy rant. It makes my Massachusetts day. Thank you. Right on. Yeah, and Turtleboy's going live to talk about this stuff tonight at 9. So the usual Turtleboy Saturday night. Walls Octavia, thank you so much. Appreciate you. But yeah, we have we have more to go over. Let's go over this after David. And now comes the undersigned blah blah blah, and hereby states the following to the best of her knowledge. So it is a female. Recollection information. I know who this is. Yeah, I know who this is. My name's blah blah blah. I reside in Massachusetts. I am of age and competent to make this affidavit. I have been friendly with Catherine Peter, here and after Peter, for close to a year. Oh, thank you, Wallace Octavia. Courtney Heald signed the after. Oh, Jesus. Well, shit, man. You didn't have to say all that. Karen reads. If I'm not saying, dude, like, y'all can't read the room, and by the room I mean me. If I'm not saying the name out loud and I say I know who it is, dude, doesn't that mean not to fucking say that shit in the chat? It's like, don't do that. Happy birthday, Cherry. You've been missed. Yes, it is Cherry's birthday and she loves cheese. Make sure, guys, lots of cheese emojis for Cherry's birthday, folks. We love What's the happiest day? The happiest day, folks. The happiest day is Cherry's birthday. in trouble. Okay, let's go on reading this. I am of age and competent to make the 7-day. I've been friendly with Catherine Peter here and after Peter for close to a year. I have had multiple conversations and face-to-face interactions with Peter. Peter volunteered information to me about the Karen Reed case countless times throughout our friendship. All factual representations below are from what Peter told me about her involvement in the Karen Reed and Aiden Carney cases. During Karen Reed's first trial, she was in regular communication with ADA Adam Lally. At one point prior to jury deliberations, Peter met with Adam Lally for lunch. During this lunch meeting, Adam Lally told Peter that he knows the foreperson who is a retired police officer, and he, the juror, is guaranteeing a mistrial. Holy shit. This is what was verbally reported to me by Miss Peter. Now, I don't know how that works. Where does hearsay come in? If it does, I don't know anything about that. But I'll just go on reading. She told me she is paid $1,500 each month via Cash App for her assistance in the Karen Reed and Aiden Carney prosecutions. Peter believes that Karen Reed is innocent, but she has to play the game. Wow. I interpreted this to mean Peter's role is to publicly promote and advocate on social media that Miss Reed is guilty. Peter opined to me that if anyone killed John, it was blank an asshole. Whoever, okay, I don't know. That's redacted. Peter is very close with Hank Brennan and has had multiple conversations and meetings with him. Holy shit. I have personally heard Peter on the phone with Hank Brennan. During a phone conversation between Peter and Hank Brennan that I was present and a personally recognized Hank Brennan's voice, Peter told him that her people leaked it to the media, referring to the federal investigation being over. Hold on, I got to read that one more fucking time. During a phone conversation between Peter and Hank Brennan that I was present for and personally recognized Hank Brennan's voice, of course, because he's sitting here talking like this. How do you miss this guy sitting there and he's going, hey, so our people leaked it to the media, referring to the we leaked the federal investigation being over, even though the federal investigation isn't actually over. But we leaked it to the media so that people would think that it is over, when in fact it is not. So this person claims to have witnessed firsthand a conversation between Kate Peter and Hank Brennan, the special prosecutor assigned to prosecute Karen Reed, in what is no doubt going to be one of the most talked about cases in American history. No doubt that this case will be that. Okay, my stream is cracking. Hold on. I'm going to refresh, guys. Give me a second. I'm going to refresh. All right, is that better? Let me know if it sounds better. Yeah, so there's no static with the mic now. Yeah, usually when I refresh, it works it out. I appreciate it, guys. Thank you. So yeah, I mean, dude, why is Hank Brennan talking to Kate Peter, Krusty Panties? Why is that happening? Chasing, what's up? You've been gone a minute. This shit has gotten crazy. So That's this whole thing just took a hard left turn. Why is Special Prosecutor Hank Brennan talking to Krusty Panties and talking about how they leaked shit to the media? And Krusty Panties, even according to this person, admitting that she believes Karen Reed to be innocent. Because again, see, here's the thing is I don't think that Kate Peter's stupid. I think she's just an asshole. I think that Kate Peter is just a piece of shit. She's a critical K, a canceled Karen. That's what she is. She's just a piece of shit. No soul, no sense of conviction whatsoever. Just somebody willing to fucking do whatever the fuck it takes to fuck somebody over and make a buck. Dude, if somebody offered me $1,500 a month, $1,500 a month to spread lies, dude, like, I would fucking laugh. I would laugh. If somebody offered me $15,000 a month to spread lies, I would fucking laugh. Think about that shit. Like, it's too much work, dude. it's too much. That's what it boils down to. Like, it's an integrity thing for sure, but logistically speaking, like as far as speaking in practicalities, it's too much work. Like, it's way too much work. The money I make doing this is easy money because I don't have to fucking keep up with lies. It's so easy. You know what I mean? I don't like that. Shows exactly how shitty this person is. I can't think of anybody more shitty than Kate Peter. For, I mean, like, if she believed, I would respect her more if she believed. If I just thought she was stupid and she believed that Karen Reed was guilty and she was just stupid. Okay. Oh, chasing. Thank you. Appreciate it. Like, but this is the grossest shit in the world. Like, no conviction whatsoever. And you're willing to just like sell the last little bit of your soul for $1,500 a month? Dude. And if the stuff that people say about her personal life, which I won't get into, is true, it just makes it that much worse because it's like, where are your standards? Like, why wouldn't you up the price considering that stuff? You know, why wouldn't you make these stipulations? It's bizarre. Peter is very close with Hank Brennan, blah, 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 blah. I already read that. As of April 15th, 2025. Oh, wait, hold on. If I catch these at the corner of my eye, I'll catch them. Kelly, thank you so much. Now I get why Lally always looks so miserable. Krusty has been getting paid more than him for years. They all need some silver bracelets. Nice. Well done. Well done. I love it. Thank you. As of April 15th, 2025, Peter is not talking directly to Hank anymore. Okay. We're using a third party to communicate now. Peter states that she is untouchable because of everything she is doing to assist the prosecution, and that no matter what violations I'm charged with, Morrissey is keeping me out of jail. Wow. Wow. Like, she didn't say Brennan. She didn't say Lally. She didn't say Mello. She didn't say Cosgrove. She said Morrissey is keeping me out of jail. Morrissey. Norfolk County District Attorney Michael Morrissey. Name is on the door in the courthouse. Peter asked me to go stalk Karen Reed in the seaport with her and stated that Karen Reed stays at the Omni Hotel. She stated to me that we can take photos to sell to the Daily Mail and that she has done that before. Peter informed me that Jennifer McCabe bought her brand new sectional as compensation for her assistance. Now, I take it back. I take it back because I think that this is somebody who is very close to her as of recent. I don't think it's anybody. It's not the person I thought it was. Couldn't be. So this is somebody who has information up to as soon as April 15th, 10 days ago. Peter was told by Jennifer McCabe that Jennifer McCabe informed Michael Morrissey that she is not testifying unless Turtleboy is in jail. Michael Morrissey informed Jennifer McCabe that he would then have to subpoena her, and Jennifer McCabe then told Michael Morrissey, then we won't say what you want us to say. Holy shit. Now, this is a sworn affidavit, okay? This is someone who's stating this, and if they're lying, it is under penalty of perjury. So now this is all on them. I want to be very clear. I am not stating any of these things that I am reading to be fact, okay? I want to be very, very clear about that. But the fact of all of this is that the person who is on this sworn affidavit is accountable for every one of these words. Thank you so much, Glamasus. Good to see you, buddy. Kate has no moral compass. She took Aiden from his mother for her last Christmas. Kate is pure evil. Thanks for all you've done, Will. Yeah, that is very true, man. That is fucking absolutely true. Thank you. Sunshine Cheryl, thank you so much. I enjoy your channel, Will. Thank you for being here for us and all you do. That means the world to me. Thank you, Sunshine Cheryl. Appreciate you. Carlene, thank you so much for becoming a member. Appreciate it. Guys, and make sure to hit the like. And that really helps me out. I really appreciate everybody being here. This is absolutely fucking crazy. This is absolutely crazy. I'm not stating this stuff to be fact, but the fact is that this is someone who understands that under penalty of perjury, they swore to this to be fact. So they could go to jail for lying. I would imagine that this stuff can be proven. I would absolutely imagine that all of these things can be proven. Peter got rid of her phone the day after Aiden Carney announced on his live show that he was looking to get personal communications of Michael Morrissey. Peter said to me, they will never get the communications between me and Morrissey. Wow. Hey, corruption member for 6 months. Thank you. Cherry is back. Will's going to be in trouble. Free Karen Reed. Yeah. Wow, this is fucking crazy. The day that Peter showed up to protest at the Karen Reed trial, Peter informed me Jen McCabe paid me for her show of support. Wow. Wow. This is crazy. On March 16th, 2025, Peter told me that she went to meet with Michael Morrissey and Jen McCabe at an undisclosed location in Braintree. When Peter returned home, she had a manila envelope in her hands. I mean, that's a little movie of the week, but okay. Jody Mitchell, thank you so much. Great show, Will. Wish you were here in the Boston area this Thursday for our North Shore fundraiser. Free Karen Reed. Me too. I didn't know there was one, but yeah, that's a little too close. Peter has informed me that she has seen emails that are subject to a protective order between the Karen Reed prosecution team and Jennifer McCabe. Holy shit. Peter reported to me that upon request of Hank Brennan, she provided the spreadsheet of all the Free Karen Reed Facebook supporters to the Commonwealth for his upcoming trial. I have to wonder how this person has all of this information. Like, the only thing that makes sense is that Kate Peter is such a fucking retard that she has to fucking have somebody to brag to. And that tracks. It tracks with what I see about her, right? It does track. With what I see about her, it makes sense. You know, like she's got a massive ego, and she's that to keep something like this such a secret, something this exciting, to have such a prominent role, and to be in communication with these prominent people in this case, she's got to have somebody to brag to about it. I mean, she has to. She can't. It's boiling up inside her, and she's gonna blow, dude. Like, she's a tea kettle, bro. She's got a fucking. That's it. And right now, this person, whoever this is, if this person's telling the truth, this is her whistling. This is Kate whistling. Because, like, she has to. She can't help herself. She's got this person, and she's like, all right, I trust this person enough. And she's just going to brag and brag and brag. And you can kind of tell, man, because, like, when she talks, she just doesn't shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? Like, never a brain fart, you know? She just talks and talks and talks and talks and talks and talks. It's wild, man. Peter told me that Hank Brennan is providing information to the federal authorities regarding Karen Reed and Aiden Carney because he wants them in jail for the trial. What? Peter told me she is going to start rumors about jurors being afraid to serve because Turtleboy will go after them, and everyone is working overtime to make sure that that Turtleboy can't be in the courtroom for the trial. Now, I have a prediction before I go on, because the rest of the stuff is going to hit a little different to you guys, to some of you, once I read this, or once I say this. Understand that this is all coming from Kate Peter. If this person is telling the truth, it's coming from Kate Peter. We don't know Kate Peter to be a truthful person, to say the least. We know her to be a liar. So even the things that she's saying, they're not credible. If I'm Hank Brennan, if I'm Adam Lally, if I'm McLaughlin, if I'm Cosgrove, if I'm Mello, I'm throwing her under the bus. I'm throwing her completely under the bus. Unless there's proof. Unless there's proof. But the thing is all of this stuff is Peter told me, Peter said this, Peter said that. That's all that is. So we have to keep these things into perspective, folks. We have to be realistic here. Okay? And all of this stuff, if I'm any of these cops or any of these attorneys that are being named in this, I'm throwing her under the bus. I'm like, she's a fucking crazy person. I'm letting her fucking get locked up. I'm throwing her in jail, even. Just to cover my own ass. I'm going to be like, oh, this is a crazy person. Well, she broke the law. What do you mean? We're not protecting her. If we were protecting her, if anything she was saying was true, she wouldn't be in jail. Krusty, you're going to jail. Like, it just fucking hit me. Krusty's going to jail, dude. There's no way she's not. There's no fucking way she's not, dude. Think about that. That is the best way for the Commonwealth to cover their ass, is to throw her under the bus and in a fucking jail cell. That is it. That is the only thing that they can do. Krusty's going to jail, bro. Like, there's like, I don't even have a fucking like a doubt in my mind at this point. Like that's gonna happen. It's gonna happen like soon. It's gonna happen like soon. Watch. And she's gonna panic. She's gonna melt down all over fucking X. Which she already kind of did, which we're gonna go over when we finish, reading this. Peter admitted to me that she created the image of Karen Reed and Alan Jackson embracing. Remember that bullshit? That was then given to the Daily Mail. In early January, Peter and I were discussing the Lindsay Gattani case against Aiden Carney. I mentioned something about Gattani being pregnant at the time, and Peter interrupted me saying Lindsay was never pregnant. Interrupted her, dude. Interrupted her and was like, yeah, Lindsay was never pregnant, bro. I am aware that Peter and Gattani were close friends in the past and worked together against Mr. Carney. I understand that I am not represented by any attorneys connected to the Aiden Carney or Karen Reed defense teams, and that I'm turning over this information because it is important to know the truth about what is going on. I am not being coerced or compensated, and I am doing this of my own free will. Okay. No, that the witness was Courtney Healy. So y'all are trying to name the person. No, that's the witness. Okay. Yeah, that shit is just fucking wild. KC, thank you so much. Oh my God. I haven't done it in a minute. It's gotta happen. It's gotta happen.
Oh, here we go.
I think we got a super cat. Super cat. I think we got a super cat. Super cat. Super cat. Super cat. I think we got a super cat.
How dare you?
Can we talk about who it could be? Leah Goodez? I don't know. I mean, here's the thing, Casey. I love how you guys say this shit in super chats. Okay, fine. Since you paid $20, I'll go easy on my reaming of you. I just stated, like, read the room. If common sense dictates, if it's redacted, it's probably redacted for a reason. And so I'm going to respect why it's redacted. And so I'm not going to sit here and play the guessing game as to who it is. And I already dismissed the person who I thought it was, like, can't be. So now I'm just like at square, don't give a fuck. I'm sure it'll come out later. That's where my mind is. So yeah, like, if it's redacted, like, it's redacted for a reason. Okay. But thank you, Casey. Appreciate you. So let's check X real quick, because this is very fun. And yeah, this rock wasn't there when I was there a year ago. So there's that bullshit right here. That's just jury influencing right there, which is just fucking ridiculous. Ridiculous. All right. So now I'm not going to go over Turtleboy's article. I'll leave that to him. He's going live tonight at 9. We're just going to go over some of the tweets and stuff. It's fun shit. Just fun shit. People, I love the internet sometimes because you guys are just fucking fantastic. That's fun shit, dude. Oh my God, y'all are too much, man. Y'all are too much. I love it. Like I could just scroll on Twitter all day, bro. Let me just go to, because I know I reposted some stuff. And we are going to go over, I will go over Turtleboy's Frame 2. I do want to watch that because I haven't watched it yet, so I was hoping to react to it. Real quick though, let's go over this because I'm so proud. I'm so proud of our beloved mighty Mark Betterow for this little appearance.
Mark Betterow is a criminal defense attorney, joins us on set here in New York. And Mark, nice to have you.
Morning.
Good morning to you.
That's just
There's
dope.
a couple of things that are intriguing. We'll get into some of the text messages.
He looks right at home right there, doesn't he? Doesn't our boy look fucking great on the tube? Dude, who the fuck is calling me? Fuck off. Doesn't my boy look great?
Messages that apparently were shown to jurors in the previous trial. But during the first trial, she was apparently doing media interviews and some sort of docu-series was made, etc. Here is a clip of her describing what she was drinking the night in question here. Watch.
The drinks that they were pouring me at McCarthy's, which is where I consumed most of the alcohol, was the weakest vodka tonic. It tasted just like all soda water with lime. Not that I need it to be a martini.
She goes on to say that, the evidence suggests she went on to add an additional shot of liquor into each glass. It doesn't sound good.
No, it's not great. I mean,
This guy's so over dramatic, bro. You hear this guy? It doesn't sound good.
The evidence suggests she went on to add an additional shot of liquor into each glass. It doesn't sound good.
no, it's not great. I mean, obviously,
not great.
Her level of
No.
intoxication is going to be an issue in this case. The larger issue here is whether someone who is facing trial should be giving interviews at all. And clearly, as you can see, these are being used by the prosecution against her. I don't think the evidence that's coming out in these interviews is the kind of thing that will necessarily make her be found guilty. They're still going to need to prove that there was a car accident and everything else. But the lesson you're seeing here is that speaking before a trial or during a trial, as that docuseries was, can come back and be used against you.
That's why defense attorneys always say, keep your mouth shut.
Yeah. I mean, in this case, I mean, I don't think they thought there would be a second trial. So this was filmed. They assumed it would end. It didn't. So they did get a little bit burned by it.
Yeah. This is one of the text messages. Okay. This is Reed, Karen Reed, and then the boyfriend, James O'Keefe, the now deceased. Last night, you're basically like, yeah, what about when we talk about the future? So why don't you just admit you're not into so much anymore? And he says, sick of always arguing and fighting. It's been weekly for several months now. So yeah, I'm not as quick to jump back into being lovey-dovey as you apparently. What will the prosecution try to say about that?
I mean, they're trying to show that there was a problem in the relationship, that it had run its course, that John O'Keefe was wanting to leave Karen Reed. Somehow they're trying to morph this into Karen getting very upset and therefore getting angry and backing her car into him. This, to me, is pretty much a nothing burger. I don't think this is anything other than
It's not
normal bickering in relationships.
Totally.
We've all done it. I know I have. I'm sure many other people watching it have. And more importantly, I'm sure some of the jurors have. I don't think.
But she said, I was hoping you'd be interested in smoothing things over with me.
Yeah.
So the prosecution going to say that she wanted to
Okay.
continue the relationship.
Yeah. And again, they're having an argument. There's going to be further evidence that there were other arguments in the relationship, but there's a far cry between people having.
So let's make sense of that. Okay. You have a woman with no criminal record, renowned college professor, and there's text message data that the prosecution is using as data, showing that she's doing everything she can in a civilized and calm fashion to work things out with her significant other. So she's going to murder him. How do you go? How do you get to murder from that? Is what I'd like to know. Alcohol? Man, I've gotten pretty drunk quite a few times. So far, I haven't killed anybody. Knock on wood. Haven't had the desire to, that's for sure. Knock on wood. But, I mean, how do you go from that to murder? Like, I understand if you actually had physical evidence that added up, but you don't. There is no physical evidence that adds up to Karen Reed striking John O'Keefe with her SUV. It just, there's nothing that holds any water at all. Brenda G gifted 5 memberships, y'all. Oh my God. Thank you, Brenda G. Appreciate you. Now, yeah, I'm just going to keep going with this.
Bickering, having arguments, and trying to kill them. I mean, I just don't think this really will support a motive of murder and backing up a car in front of a house full of people and in a quiet neighborhood like that. That just.
One last question. We have news today that the jurors are going to take this field trip. They're going to go to the scene. What do you make of that? A good thing for prosecution or defense? Help either one?
I think it would ultimately help the defense more if it was later in the trial. By going this early in the trial, before witnesses who were in the house who should have seen a body on the lawn when they left, they haven't testified.
Right.
They should have heard this accident. You know, to get perspective, we're not going to see that until later. So the jury may not be keyed in on it. And the last point is the homeowner, who was a Boston police officer at the time and a first responder, is going to testify that he never came outside. He never heard anything when all the police and fire arrived later, which is a suspicious fact. And the jury will see that this is a very small yard. And some of the...
Bro, Federer is so dope. Like, the fact that he made this point, I love that shit. I love that they asked about the yard, and I love how he took it there and was like, it would be better for the defense if it came out later after testimony from Brian Albert, after testimony from the people inside the house. It would definitely work better. And he made sure to put that fact about Brian Albert out there on Fox News. Very important, because the public needs to know that. That's very important to know. If you're following this case, why it's so public is important to know why it's very important to know why it's so public. Why has there been so much support for Karen Reed for so long when you're just now learning about it? And that is because these facts that we were always been aware of, thanks to Turtleboy, these facts that we've always been aware of are now being talked about in the mainstream media that were not talked about in the mainstream media before. And it was all dismissed as conspiracy theory. But it's not. I mean, is there a conspiracy? Absolutely. But we're not crazy tinfoil hat wearing people. We're people that see the obvious and are calling it out. Lindsay G, thank you so much. The defense should make a diagram connecting the prosecution's witnesses to make it easier for jurors. I'm sure they would. They're going to do that to some degree. I'm sure they thought of that. Thank you so much, Lindsay. I appreciate it.
Well, the pictures that were offered by the prosecution at the first trial give a much greater perspective than it really is. And the jury just may not be keyed in to see how close that bedroom is to the area.
Well, interesting. Good details. You are a criminal defense attorney, so you do tend to look at things a certain way.
Right.
And
good details.
Hope you come back. Okay.
Great. Yeah, thank you.
Great to have you.
Yeah, I hope he does too. You need to have the mighty Mark Betterow on quite a bit, in my opinion, my friends. And then it's only appropriate as far as timing goes. to show this because it's actually very cool. This is by a creator named Kingdom Radio. Okay. So stop what you're doing right now. Stop what you're doing right now and give this video a like. I'm dropping the link in chat. Click on that link, give the video a like, subscribe to the channel. And we're gonna check this out real quick.
You're obviously one of the key witnesses for the entire case. Why are you speaking out now on the eve of Karen's second trial?
I think people have forgotten John in general. He is the victim. He's lost his life. He's not coming back.
I mean, nobody gives a flying fuck about what happened to a dead police officer on another dead police officer's lawn other than, well, you know, the crazy psycho girlfriend must have run him over.
Right.
But where's all the physical evidence of that? I don't know. We don't.
Right.
It'll reveal itself in a couple of weeks when the snow melts, sir. I mean, that's what they're saying.
Did John want to become a cop?
Johnny believed in fairness. Johnny believed in justice.
Yep.
And he'd be appalled at where we are 3.5 years later.
What about the conversations with Mr. Morrissey, the elected district attorney?
Of course, I speak to them all the time about the vicious harassment we are all receiving.
Well, during the course of this trial, the witnesses have been harassed.
I mean, that's A+ level gaslighting.
Do you remember when the officer first arrived, you and Miss Reed specifically were at Mr. O'Keefe's body?
Yes.
Where was Miss McCabe at that moment?
She was there too, but she was waving down the first responders because it was dark out and he couldn't see us. He had a spotlight. The back of the SUV was open. She was standing there.
Got it. Okay, so she was right next to or adjacent to the cab of the SUV.
She was in back of it with the back was up.
I see that back hatch.
Yes.
Okay. When Miss McCabe dialed 911 and was on the phone with 911, isn't it true that she was actually in a vehicle at the time?
That is not true.
She was outside?
She was outside.
That's your memory?
Yes.
Okay.
I still have more crusty panty stuff to go over. I just wanted to go over this Bedro stuff real quick and give a shout out to my boy Kingdom Radio. But this is important shit right here.
Have you heard the 911 tape of that call?
Yes.
Okay. This appears to be a open voicemail overhearing your 911 call. You recognize that?
Now that you explain it, okay.
You hear a rhythmic boom, 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 boom.
The windshield wipers.
Okay. So that was my next question. That would have been an open voicemail that was recording inside the cab.
We absolutely
SUV
do.
that you were seated in, correct?
Correct.
Carrie quickly joins Karen on the lawn, and the two women perform CPR on John until
Pay
police
close
arrive.
attention, folks. Pay close attention.
The SUV that you were seated in, correct?
Correct.
Did you testify, quote, Karen pulls in and I pull in behind her, period. When we get out, and Karen is now showing us the back of the car saying, my taillight, do you think I hit him? Do you think I hit him? Oh my God, do you guys think I hit him? Question mark. End quote.
Do you have something I can look at to refresh my memory?
Sure. Is that how you testified?
May I see it?
Sure. Let's go ahead and play this.
Oh, look what never happened. Look what never happened on video.
Okay, you can stop it. Your memory was faulty about that part of the incident that you testified to at the grand jury.
Yes.
Okay.
Can you tell me what she said, what Karen told Carrie that morning when she called?
I believe she said, was that the first time she called John's dead?
Knowing literally, that he is 1000% full of shit.
I knew it happened at that time.
How did you
which
know
is
it
why I
happened?
said it.
How did you know it happened, Miss Roberts, if no one told you it happened?
Because we wrote a timeline. We already spoke about
So
that.
the timeline that Jennifer McCabe helped you with, that influenced your testimony in front of the grand jury, correct?
Is what you had worked out with Carrie in that timeline meeting, wasn't it? That was the everything you were referring to, correct?
Incorrect. We never worked together to come up with the story. We have the facts, and the everything was a comment about your client.
Timeline you wrote, with Jennifer McCabe's help,
Liars.
influenced your testimony.
Liars.
Testified in front of the grand jurors to a statement that you never heard, correct?
Yes.
There does appear to be an allergy to the truth, or
Is that right?
Yes.
An allergy.
In the 3 years since
to the
Reed was
truth.
arrested, the town of Canton has been transformed. Neighbors have taken sides. Witnesses have been harassed. For the crime of?
Telling the truth. Telling the truth.
Wow.
Telling the truth.
Wow.
You went on in your group chat with Brian Albert, Nicole Albert, and Matt McCabe to give running updates about whether or not Carrie Roberts was actually following the script, correct?
Telling the truth.
Yep. It's bigger than me. It's not about me. I'm not even sure it's about me among the parties to this case. It's about power and just wanting to win, and the injustice is just hiding in plain sight. Everyone knows it.
Did John want to become a cop?
Johnny believed in fairness. Johnny believed in justice. And he'd be appalled at where we are 3.5 years later.
Kingdom Radio, guys. There you go. All right, so this is always fun right here. This is fun. Let's just watch. Let's just look at Kate's Twitter here real quick. Hold on. So this is my favorite. So Joe Flipperhead is fucking fantastic. Joe Flipperhead is my shit because Joe Flipperhead points out, actually, let me find his thing real quick here. There we go. He points out this beautiful, beautiful, like, it's actually pretty amazing. But where is it? Oh man, I don't see it. He had reposted this thing, man, but now I can't find it. And now I'm frustrated. Maybe he replies. Yes, here it is. Okay. So Krusty pointed out that this is her rebuttal for this, right? This is really funny. Krusty points out it's wild that Jen McCabe apparently waived fair financing. It's almost like someone claiming to know me committed easily proven perjury by signing a false affidavit, making all sorts of false claims, and having it submitted to the court. The couch bribe is as real as the $1,500 a month Cash App payments from Michael Morrissey and the phone call from Hank Brennan and whatever else has outlandishly been alleged. But sure, this is going to do wonders for Turtleboy's credibility in his case and stuff. Sorry, free Karen retards, but I know Karen is guilty for free. Right. Okay. But this is really fun. Because Joe Flipperhead points out here. Because here is her Wayfair thing, right? Points out Wayfair financing, what she paid, but there's an interesting detail here. Because if you look at the date, okay? If you look at the date, Hold on. Where's the dates over here? So she pays for the thing she finances a couch. Okay. What Krusty Panties does here is she finances a couch, right? But what she did was she financed the couch and paid it off in 2 days. Who does that? Why finance the couch? As I stated in a comment there, I was like, all right, so I'm talking to Wayfair Finance. I'm talking to the couch place, right? And I'm like, yo, hey, listen, I really need this couch, but I need it right now. I need it right now. What are my options? Well, you can finance it. You can take it home as long as you pay it off day after tomorrow. It's yours. That makes no sense. Why finance a couch if you could pay it off within 2 days of financing it? So she gave herself away with her own receipts. And Joe Flipperhead pointed it out. Joe Flipperhead called it out. December 8th and then shipped December 10th. Amazing. I love it. It's so much fun. Like, look at the thread. It's just so funny. Joe Flipperhead. She's like, Joe Flipperhead's like, if you ordered it on December 6th and paid it off in full on December 8th, what, if anything, did you finance? So it's from the 6th to the 8th. You posted this out of panic thinking it would help, but in fact, it does the opposite. Before you made this post, I had some doubts. I no longer do. And right, there's my comment. I need this couch now, but I can't pay for it until day after tomorrow. What are my options? And that video, Jesus chimes in. Okay, it has proved your little snuggle video 9 months ago. Edit the metadata. Yeah, and I don't know enough about that shit. I don't know. I know there's a bunch of fucking bickering going on with Video Jesus. I don't know what's going on with that. I have no idea. But I know that Video Jesus claims to have proved that it was not a real, and we know it's not anyway, dude. Like, it's not a real picture. It's not. It doesn't even look real. You didn't because it's not, and the person who took it verified it with all outlets before they published. Aren't you the one that even Free Karen Reed regrets is a joke and blah 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 blah? Okay, yeah, I don't care about any of that. So Flipperhead's just like, please keep talking. And I'm not gonna play the music because I know it's copyright, but yeah, like it's ridiculous. Now we have to celebrate Jim though. Hold on, let's go over.
Witnesses.
This is my
It's
favorite.
impossible to have a fair trial when there's police reports and evidence that contradict witnesses. It's impossible to have a fair trial when there's police reports and evidence that contradict witnesses. It's impossible to have a fair trial when there's police reports and evidence that contradict witnesses. It's impossible to have a fair trial when there's police reports and evidence that contradict witnesses. It's impossible to have a fair trial when there's police reports and evidence that contradict witnesses.
It's impossible to have a fair trial when there's police reports and evidence that contradict witnesses. And what's really interesting about that is that was all there was before the second trial started, before he took on this case. And what is he doing? What's he doing? It's just interesting, Hank. Interesting, Hank. Joe Flipperhead. So I'm really interested to find out exactly what is going to happen now. I'm really, really, really interested to find out what's going to happen in regards to Turtleboy's case. Because if you remember in the letters, the Betterow letters, I mean, Betterow's even talking about calling Ken Mello up to the stand. I've never even seen that shit before. And Michael Morrissey is on the witness list for Karen Reed, is on the defense's witness list. So I wonder if they're going to call him up, or if there's some technicality where he doesn't have to go up. Dude, I'm trying to tell y'all, dude, like this is the biggest shit show ever. But keep in mind that after David, this person, it all depends on their credibility. And it all depends on what kind of proof she has, because who knows, right? Who the fuck knows? It all depends on what kind of proof she has. Because you got to understand a lot of that. You got to just read between the lines. You got to look at the wording. And a lot of that was Kate Peter told me, or I heard Kate Peter say, you know, those things are important. And if I were the Commonwealth, I'm going to use the fuck out of that. Unless there's proof. But so nobody's stating that these things are fact. Turtleboy, I don't think, is even stating that these things are fact. It's just somebody who swore under oath that this is what she heard. So, I mean, take that for what it is and what it means. Nothing more, nothing less. It's not actual proof of anything, but it's interesting. It's very interesting. And it coincides with a lot of what most of us have been suspecting. So what I'm going to do, which I haven't done in a minute, but I'm really feeling you guys today, man. I'm really, really feeling you guys today. I am going to open the phone lines. So I'm going to take calls. All right. Just dial that number right there. Call in. It's always real awkward when we're waiting for phone calls to come in. Oh.
Call from Dina.
Dina.
Clara.
What's up, Dina?
Hello, my favorite.
What's going on? How you doing?
No, I'm good. I'm at work, but I wanted to pop in here because I can't miss a show. I've missed you lately, so it's been on replay, so I had to call in.
Right on.
Say hello to the Massachusetts adopted child of the Reeds.
I know.
You lucky guy.
I am. I'm a very, very lucky guy that the Reeds have adopted me as one of their own. Very, very lucky.
I know. Well, Massachusetts has adopted you, Clara. You know it.
You have.
You know it.
You have. I'm really, really excited. Let me see what this asshole wants. Let's see. I think it's a troll.
What is that in the background?
My old burner number.
Oh.
All right, you're on.
It was such
better be good. Yeah, it's just some asshole. All right, go ahead, Dina. Fuck them. Go ahead. Sorry.
So it was so beautiful to wake up this morning and roll over and look at my phone and see this shit on KP dropped.
Right.
I jumped up out of bed like, finally that troll, nasty, pelican-looking bitch is gonna freaking pay some price. You know, everybody goes to her court hearings. I've been to a few, but Scott McGinnis has been to like every single one of hers. and everybody hopes each time she's going to jail, and her ass was just kept out. And we all knew she was, you know, turning tricks for Morrissey. So that's the only one that'll have her. But I can't. Betterow would never do all this without receipts.
Tina, that's way.
Oh! Ew, dude!
Anyway,
What the
Betterow would definitely not do this unless he had every freaking receipt to see it.
Yeah, I feel like that. Well, no, because remember, I think the stuff that Betterow writes, put in his affidavit, for sure he can prove. He wouldn't state it unless he could prove it. But there is this sworn affidavit, and again, she's saying a lot of, I heard Kate say this, and Kate told me that. You know, so it's, you know what I mean. So it's, you got to understand, like that's still, you know.
It's hearsay, but he wouldn't bother to do that unless they can prove something.
All I'm saying is that's all it is right now. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
As of right now,
I'm sitting in my living room right now looking at my futon, and I have never appreciated my futon as much as I do right now, because I never had to sell my soul for a couch.
I've done a few questionable things for a couch before. You know, I'm not gonna lie.
All right, we're not going to get into that, Clara. Keep it clean. Keep it clean.
Yeah.
I've been on my best behavior. Keep it clean.
All right, Dina. All right.
Anyways, everyone, I hope to see everybody Sunday at Legacy Place. Free Karen Reed.
Sunday, Legacy Place standout, guys. Free Karen Reed.
Love you, Clara. Goodbye.
Love you too. Bye-bye. We love Dina, folks. We love Dina. Nobody else? Nobody else? Nobody else? Dude, I got 6,000 people watching in total between this, Twitter, and Facebook. Like, somebody's got to call in, bro.
Call from.
You're on. Who am I speaking with?
Veronica, calling from Houston, Texas.
Veronica from Houston, Texas. How we doing, Veronica from Houston, Texas?
Listen, I am praying for all of you. You guys, my heart goes out to you. Y'all are all just so dedicated, working so hard to make justice happen, and it will happen. I do believe, and I am following you all every second of the way, praying for you all.
That is awesome. Yes, that means the world. Like, I think there's a lot of, I don't want to get into a deep theological thing, man, but like there's a lot of, like, no matter what you believe in, like even if you just believe in energy, there's a lot of energy in prayer for somebody, dude. You know, putting that,
and just
putting
people coming
deep
together.
thought into somebody's well-being, man, means a lot. There's a lot of love in that. So I really appreciate that.
Yes, and just people coming together, doing what's right, and that's what you all are doing.
Yeah, for
That's
sure.
what you
And
all are
you're doing it too.
And yes, I am, and I
Yes.
do believe in the energies. And just like Nan says, keep showing up,
For
no matter
sure.
what. Keep
For
showing
sure.
up. You all know the truth.
Absolutely.
Yes.
For sure.
Okay, I'm going to let you go so you can take another caller, but I love you guys.
We love you, Veronica. Thanks for calling. Appreciate you.
Bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
Call from Beauty and Beard.
You're on. Who am I
Listen.
speaking with?
Hi, this is Desiree from Texas.
What's up? Another Texan. Another Texan. Desiree.
yes.
You just had Veronica from Houston call in.
Yeah, I heard her. She is so sweet, and I second everything that she said.
Right on.
My thought is there's no way that Bev is not that she has to know. She has to know every bit of this. I think that Bev is crooked as crooked can be, and it's really concerning that this case is still going forward. I am so thankful for Turtleboy and for you, Blair, and everyone who has really fought for justice.
Yeah, man. big shout out to everybody, man. Like, and big shout out to like JFK and James Jackson,
Yeah.
man. I don't think they get enough love because they're
Right.
really putting it out there too. Microdots is in my chat doing everything he
Yeah.
does, man. It's amazing.
Microdots is incredible. I mean, even Dina has. I mean, the people who are, you know, the
whole
feet
other-
on the ground.
Yeah, that's a whole
Right.
conversation
Right.
there.
They're still good in the world, and it's despicable that Brennan is even. I mean, it's just inconceivable that this is still going on. Poor Karen. I'm so thankful that she has an army behind her, and I want Bev to go down. I think Bev should take like as much fall as Carrie and Jen and Krusty. They're crooked.
Agreed. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's clear corruption going on. It's just a question of like, what's the motive for the corruption? You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
why does everybody have such a hard on for Karen Reed going to jail? It's so weird.
Right. Right.
And the only thing that makes sense is to protect the people who actually did it. You know?
Right. Right. And
Why?
I mean, what is the bigger?
Why
Yeah,
are
exactly.
they so powerful? Why do they
Right.
have that much power? Why did the Alberts have that much power?
Right. Right.
the question.
You know, it's absurd, and I just pray that Monday, you know, like there will be such a celebration when and if this doesn't get pushed aside or brushed under the rug, or Brennan doesn't play it off like, you know, I mean, I don't know. I'm just praying, just like the previous caller, and thank you again for all you do.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Desiree.
And God bless Betero, right?
God bless Betero. Absolutely. All right. Have a good one, Desiree. Thank you.
Thanks. Well, bye-bye.
Call from.
You're on. Who am I speaking with?
Hey, Will. It's Pennsylvania Dave.
Pennsylvania Dave. What's up, my man?
Listen, can this shit get any more crazier?
I mean, it's like we ask that question every fucking month. Like,
Will, every single day, it's just more bullshit. It's just more bullshit every single day. Something fucking crazier comes out.
Agreed, Pennsylvania.
Oh my God. And you know what? You know who shows receipts? Guilty people.
Right.
You know who ignores that shit? People who are honest.
Right.
I'm not even acknowledging that. But when she starts pulling out Wayfaries, who the fuck takes a fucking loan and then pays it off in 2 days?
Oh, that's like, why did you do that? Like, you just proved to everybody.
She hit the Commonwealth lottery.
Yeah. Like, you just proved to everybody that shit's true. Somebody bought you that fucking couch, bro. You were like, I know how the conversation already happened. Like, yo, I just ordered this couch. I got the couch taken care of. How do you, like, here, how much do you own the couch? I got you. Here you go. And then that's it. She paid off the couch. And
you think she's getting a phone call right now saying, keep your fucking mouth shut?
Yeah, dude.
You think she got a phone call this morning? What the fuck are you doing? Keep your fucking mouth shut.
I don't think that's, I think that now it's block. I think now it's block. I think,
dude, you call
now.
Listen, I've been watching y'all. I've been watching y'all morning, and you called it. When it comes right down to it, they're gonna throw her ass in jail to shut her the fuck up.
They're gonna throw her ass in jail, just to discredit.
Right in jail,
just to discredit her. That's it. Like,
because
you know how you know that's not true is because if we were paying her and protecting her, why the fuck would we throw her in jail? You know,
that's right.
That's it.
That's right. 100% right there. 100%. You couldn't have called it any better.
It's the only.
I'll tell you what. I never believed for 1 second that this FBI investigation was over, because it's not. It's not. If anything, they just ramped it up another notch.
Yeah.
With all this shit that came out, I'm telling you right now, man, things are going to start to go bad, and it's going to happen real soon.
Agreed.
If all that stuff is true, and I don't believe that person would go out on a limb like that, because right there they can go to jail themselves. No one's going to put themselves on the line. I think she just has a big fucking mouth. She's talking to the wrong people because she's got to brag.
Yo, Grant's in my chat. What's up, Grant? It's good to see you, buddy.
No, Grant Ellis Smith?
Yeah, Grant Smith Ellis.
Dude, he had the pass for 2 weeks. He never showed up at court. What happened there?
What's going on there, buddy? What's happening, man? I mean, But he can't go when Jess Machado's there, man. That was some bullshit you pulled with her, though, dude. You gotta fucking watch your shit, dude. You can't fucking act like a fool, man. You gotta be professional.
Yeah, I believe she.
So I'm trying to
I
tell
believe
you,
she was
bro,
an all.
like you could be a really good writer, Grant. You could be a really good writer. You just gotta like stop lying. And
Yeah,
and
that's most important.
Fucking, don't go to fucking court smelling like weed sitting next to you and be mindful of your colleagues, bro. That's how professionals act, dude. You can do that. I believe in you, bro. I think you can do it, dude. And you can do it. Quit lying and fucking be mindful of your colleagues, homie.
Is Wendy Murphy really his mother?
Yeah.
Is that a true story?
Yeah.
That's really his mother, that nutbag?
Yeah. And yeah, she's
I'm sure you heard her new theory, right? How Johnny kicked the taillight.
Yeah, dude.
You didn't hear that, right?
I don't think that's a new theory, though. Like, I don't think that's a new theory, though. Like, I feel like somebody's thrown that shit out there before. I think Grant threw that out there a while back. Maybe. I don't know. I could be wrong. I don't know.
I don't know.
But it's a stupid theory.
It's ridiculous.
I mean,
it's ridiculous.
Because John had a bionic leg until he died.
It's Lee Majors, baby. Lee Majors.
Right. Yeah.
Unbelievable. I don't know what's going to come out next in the next couple of days, but this is just unbelievable, the shit that comes out.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
It's one thing after the other.
And it gets crazier and crazier every day.
Yeah.
Just when you think things are calming down, they ramp up tenfold.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know about you, but
Grant's going to call in, man.
Very shocking.
Grant's going to call in. He's a little behind, he says, but he's going to call in. I hope to get Grant to call in because I'm happy to talk.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if he'll call you.
He maybe not now after he's behind. So after what he heard me say,
I don't know if they'll call you, Will.
But yeah.
Well,
man, I'm down to talk to Grant. I'm always down to talk to Grant.
Yeah, I don't even know him. Did you ever meet him?
Yeah. No, yeah. I met him twice, I think. Yeah, twice. Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen.
He's always nice. He's always nice to me when we meet. You know what I mean? I have no reason to be a dick to him. Like
right.
He hasn't done anything to me. He does things that I think are shitty, and I'm very vocal about those things. But I feel like I don't feel like he's a lost cause. Put it that way. I just I still have faith in him that others don't, and I get it. But that's their problem and that's mine.
Yeah, I guess it is.
Yeah,
but, yeah. This is crazy, man. I mean, this has been the best year of my life. I'll tell you right now. I've never been into a show. I've never been into a trial or anything like this before in my life. I mean, we watch ID Discovery and stuff like that, but this is it's just comical, just for the fact that they think they can prove this theory. You know what I mean? And they got no chance.
Well, they haven't even settled on a theory. Is what's funny. It's like they haven't even settled on one yet.
They don't even have a timeline.
Right. Their timeline doesn't add up. The data. The data is exculpatory to their timeline. So
first it was 1245. Now it's 1232. Every single person they put up there just lies. Kerry Roberts was a joke.
Yeah.
And they probably didn't have half the information they had.
I knew she was lying in the last trial. I was shocked when they didn't cross her. I was like, wait a second, what? They were like, no questions. And I was like, what?
I don't think they had the information that they had.
No, they didn't.
This time.
No, they didn't.
But once you get this information, like the big chaotic scene outside of John O'Keefe's house when they're showing the taillight, it doesn't exist.
Yeah. Yeah.
It doesn't exist. And she was mistaken. It was when we came out.
I'm sorry.
What do you mean it was when you came out? The fuck? You said both you and Jen McCabe said it was before you went in the house. It never happened.
Right.
I wonder what Jen's going to do. I wonder what she's going to say now. Because she talked to Carrie that morning. Probably called her as soon as she got out and goes, you fucked it all up, Carrie.
There's no way that Jen McCabe is not going to fall apart on the stand. There's no way. Hey, I'm going to take the next caller, Dave. Dave,
He has to. Hey, Will, good luck to you, man. I'll talk to you.
appreciate you, buddy. Pennsylvania Dave.
Have
y'all.
a good day, brother.
Later.
All right, man.
All right. So I'll take the next caller. I didn't get to the last one in time. I mean, if Grant makes the rotation, bro, he seems to get pretty lucky with the press rotation at court. Maybe he'll make the rotation here.
Call from
You're on. Who am I speaking with?
Dennis from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada.
Oh, who from Alberta, Canada?
Dennis.
Dennis, what's up, Dennis from Alberta, Canada? How we doing, buddy?
It's fantastic. So obviously, Ryan Albert has something a lot on Michael Morrissey, and Morrissey must have something even on the way up. And what I like about a second trial is that all these guys must be up in their meds, and Ryan Albert would be definitely giving guidance because they're going to try to infiltrate that little Colin guy by getting a fake girlfriend or all the tricks employs. At some point, they're going to let the guards down, and obviously the FBI is still all over them, so they will fall at some point in time.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I don't see how they can hold it together on the stand under cross. I just don't see it. There's too much information, and there's too many conflicting statements, and there's no putting the toothpaste back in the tube. You know, it's just like what happened with Carrie Roberts. There was no lying her way out of that situation. You know what I mean? Like, you have grand jury testimony, then you have trial testimony, and you have statements, and they all contradict. So how do you explain that?
Exactly. And I think depends which way it goes, and hopefully, I don't know if they're going to go a third time, but at some point in time, there'll be a rally for putting GoFundMe or someone, you guys structure something. People would donate and put on billboards, like starting at 250 grand US. If you have to put up to 500 grand flipping US for the person to flip, and that reward for someone that actually causes that these bastards go to jail.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's going to happen. I mean, that's what's got to happen. So who knows? And if this person's telling the truth, or at least if this person's telling the truth and Kate Peter was telling her the truth, then, you know, that's something that we could very well be looking at. You know, that means Jen McCabe is just so dead on to take Turtleboy down that she's willing to threaten to throw other people under the bus if Turtleboy isn't thrown in jail, according to this person, which is crazy. I mean, that's obsession.
Exactly. Yeah, the cards will start falling, and I just can't wait. And if you have to donate, I'll give a big donation if we have to raise funds to get someone to flip. I would love to do that.
Right, exactly. Yeah, I hear you, man.
Well, keep up the fight, man.
Thanks, Dennis. I appreciate you calling, buddy.
Okay. No problem. Okay, bye.
Bye.
Call from
You're on. Who am I speaking with?
Hey, this is Tim Blanche. How you doing?
Tim Blanche. Doing well, sir. How are you?
Good, buddy. I never call. I always just sit back and listen, but I have a question for you. Maybe you, in your ultimate wisdom, can solve.
Okay.
So the question is, why didn't Alan Jackson declare Jen McCabe's testimony to be stricken for her lying to the grand jury?
If I had to guess, I would say that her lying and her testimony of her lying is exculpatory for the defense. So they need to use it. It helps exonerate Karen Reed because she's lying.
Sure. But I'm just saying that when somebody blatantly gets up there and lies, you know, to a jury after they've done their grand jury testimony, couldn't that also be used for a mistrial? And, you know, at the end of the day, if she's working with
do you mean Carrie Roberts' testimony?
Carrie Roberts.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you're talking about okay.
Yeah, there's so much alike, I get them mixed up. I
well,
mean, they
because again, I'm just thinking out loud here, trying to answer your question, but I'm going to attempt to do so by thinking out loud. So, Carrie Roberts' testimony, why didn't they try to move it to be stricken from the record in total? Because she lied, and it was proven that she lied. So she's not credible, right? So I would assume that maybe they want to keep that for the same reasons that I just explained. Maybe they think that showing her lying shows motive and shows motive to cover up for the third-party culprits that they plan on addressing. If I had to guess, I'd say it has to do with their third-party culprit defense, and that it would help their third-party culprit defense to keep her testimony on the record in some way. I don't know. But if I had to guess, that would be what makes the most sense to me. And if they were just going for reasonable doubt, then yeah, it would make sense that they would just have it stricken or move to have it stricken from the record altogether. Or maybe they wanted to do that and they just didn't think Bev would even fucking bother. They probably just didn't think, they probably thought, why even bother? Because they're not gonna, Bev's never gonna do it.
She's part of the team, so it doesn't really matter what they say.
Right.
All they got to do is look at Auntie Bev, and she'll give them the green light, and basically let them say and do whatever they.
That's what I'm saying. Is like it could be something as simple as that. That they were just like, why bother? Because Bev is just gonna. But I would think that they would still do so just to have it on the record that they filed a motion. You know what I mean?
And what about practicing their testimony together? I mean, when there's a strict violation.
Right. I have questions about that too. Now I could be wrong, but I don't know. Is Jen McCabe or aren't certain witnesses sequestered or are they not sequestered yet?
Yeah, all of the witnesses are sequestered that are giving testimony or have given testimony.
Okay, so why is Jen McCabe talking to Carrie Roberts?
Exactly.
The day of her testimony.
She says she just said, "Oh, good luck," and blah blah blah. But they're talking for hours.
That's still. Oh, thanks, Tim Blanche. Appreciate you.
Yeah. So, at the end of the day, I love the coverage that you're giving on this, and anyone that can't see through this. This is persecution, it's not
clearly is.
And the amount of money that they've spent persecuting this girl for a crime she obviously didn't commit. I mean, how do the taxpayers up there feel about spending millions of dollars and going after the wrong?
Yeah, that's what everyone's saying. That's what even the law tubers are saying. At the very least, like, you should be outraged about this as a Massachusetts taxpayer, like whether you think she's guilty or not, like all of this over this, you know what I'm saying? Like,
it's absolutely crazy. That's why they only have the Democratic Party there, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you're getting into waters I don't want to get into right now, but yeah, I feel you. All right, man. Hey, I'm going to take the next caller. Hopefully it's great.
Hey, thanks for what you do. I appreciate you.
All right. I appreciate you. Thanks, bud.
Bye-bye.
Later.
Call from.
You're on. Who am I speaking with?
Hey, Will, it's me. I'm Grant.
You made it.
Powell. How you doing?
Grant, fucking hold on. I got to give you applause, buddy. You made it. Grant made it, y'all.
Well, Will, we certainly may have different views on the case, but I think we share respect for Jesus, and we can talk bad about Kate Peter for sure.
Yeah, that we can do. Sure. So what's up, bud? What do you got to say?
Well, I think if people have been following me on X, they will know I've been yelling about Kate Peter taking an envelope of cash in the Chick-fil-A parking lot in front of me for months, and I feel vindicated as of the news of this weekend.
Okay. So wait a minute. That tracks. So the person who is in this sworn affidavit who claims to have seen Kate Peter with a manila envelope, you're claiming to have seen her with the same manila envelope. Is that what you're saying?
It wasn't a manila envelope. There's two pertinent facts. So Kate Peter and I met up for the first time. I would say it was in the winter of 2024 in a Chick-fil-A parking lot somewhere on the South Coast, maybe near Raynham or something.
Okay.
Anyway, she came and got in my car and she was like, "Well, I'm waiting for someone in a white Toyota Corolla to drop me off money. We try to do it with cash so it doesn't leave a record." And I was like, "Well, this seems a little weird." And then the car pulled up. I didn't actually see the car. She got out, went over to it, came back into my car. It was a white envelope with a thank you card in it, green thank you card. She opened it. There were probably 4 or 5 hundreds, 4 or 5 50s, and a bunch of 20s.
Wow. Okay. Now, Grant, I got to ask you a tough question, buddy. I would be remiss if I didn't do that. All right. Now, a lot of people are thinking the same thing I'm thinking right now, which is how can we believe you? Where's your credibility? Because you've lied about so many other things so much, just, so easily. So,
well, I would challenge that and say maybe you have different perspectives than me on various issues, but that should reinforce what I'm saying here.
I mean, the Melanie Little and Alan Jackson Aruba thing, dude.
I apologize for that on stream.
Fair
twice,
enough.
actually,
You did apologize. Okay, so you apologize for that. Okay.
But I'm critiquing someone who would ostensibly be aligned with what I believe about the case. And I still believe what I believe about Karen being responsible. We don't have to get into it, but I'm critiquing someone who supports that view. That should reinforce my credibility here.
Yeah, and Microdots backs you up at least on this thing. He says he believes you on this thing. Now, I'm just saying, because I'm telling you, like, I'm only saying this because, like, dude, I've read what you've written. Like, you're a talented writer, clearly. But, like, I can honestly say I've got a whole community of people here, like a shit ton of people in this chat right now that I know would agree with me that if you made a habit of reporting the truth, you'd have support, you'd have readers, you'd have a whole audience. Like, I'd be a fan. I would be. But your credibility is fucked with me right now, dude. And I hate that because, like, I actually enjoy reading what you write.
I mean, listen, I appreciate what you're saying. I think I'll just say maybe it's smaller than your community, but I just got made a YouTube partner today. I'm actually celebrating that. I have a small community. People do support me. Maybe not as many as support your channel, but it's just people with different views consuming different content. That's how I'd respond to that.
Yeah, but the thing is that, like, I mean, if you're content, I'm content with my audience. My audience could be bigger, but I cuss a lot and I use words that offend people, and I just don't kind of play by the normal YouTube game that most creators play when they grow, and I'm okay with the rate in which my channel grows because I get to be myself and I don't hold back and I don't play by these rules. So I get all that, but I mean, I'm not ethically doing anything wrong. If I were spreading misinformation or contributing to any spread of misinformation, I would have a problem with myself and what I'm doing. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's a little bit different. You're telling me that you're content with your audience being small because you like to make shit up. You know what I mean? Like, and you refuse to not make shit up, or?
No, because it's a new channel. The reason I shake your hand is I do think you're authentic in your beliefs, even if we disagree. And Will, before I forget, one more thing about that Chick-fil-A parking lot cash that's actually important.
Okay.
When Kate got that money handed over, she told me it was for like a donation drive to help other people offset babysitting costs or whatever. Nonsense. Someone sent a text message, a family member of the person who paid her that cash. They put in writing that they sent the money for Kate's own expenses. So she lied to me in the car for what the money was for, too. Something's up with that.
So she told you what in the car that what the money was for?
She said it was to pay for babysitters for people who need help and to donate to other people, which I don't believe.
Like, of course not. Nobody believes that. And then you sorry, I just want to be clear and make sure the audience is clear. So you found out through what that this money was actually what?
So eventually a text message got released from someone in the orbit of whoever paid Kate. It was a family member. I don't know who it was, so I'm not going to assert it as fact. I've only seen the text message. I'm happy to reshare it on my Twitter later.
Fair
And
enough.
in that text message, it says, quoting the person, I sent that envelope with my sister over to Kate. It was for her expenses or something like that. So even that is evidence.
Okay. Wow. Yeah. So I mean, yeah. So you are strictly of the opinion, based on things that you've seen yourself, that Kate Peter is absolutely being paid by the Commonwealth to spin narratives that she's spinning.
I'll give you one more piece of information, Will, and maybe you or your audience can track this down. I don't think Kate Peter was involved in the Karen Reed investigation, but I think starting the fall of 2023, she worked for a private investigator named Marty Kraft, and I believe by proxy, she was then retained to work on Aiden's case through that PI firm.
Okay. And then she just became the mouthpiece between the PI firm and the Commonwealth, is what you're saying?
So I will say a few things. I have reason to believe she does have direct contact with the DA and agents of the Commonwealth. I've said that before. And then I also believe that she has favoritism towards specific witnesses in the orbit of this case. Not all of them, specific witnesses.
Okay. Well, I mean, we know who they are, but okay. I mean,
well, and then I will also say, I think that one of your callers was prescient earlier, and they mentioned there might be some mutual blackmail. Will, we know that Lindsay Gattani's phone extraction was manipulated to remove messages from Brian Tully to Lindsay and from Kate Peter to Lindsay.
dude, what is your deal with Lindsay, bro? What's your deal with Lindsay?
Hold on, let's pull it back. First of all, I think there was a bifurcation, right? There's charges from October 2023 against Aiden and December 2023 against Aiden. One involves the Karen Reed witnesses, one involves Lindsay. I don't think anyone set Aiden up in December of 2023. I think he was just in love with Lindsay and kind of it got out of control.
Bro.
But I think, no, but hold on, Will.
Yeah, all right, I'll listen.
I think that cell phone extraction goes right to the mutual blackmail point your friend talked about, or your caller talked about earlier. Someone during the course of the Aiden Kearney investigation about Lindsay manipulated that cell phone extraction, and it could have only happened while it was in state police custody. That is that's everything right there, because Kate Peter is the only person who could have got Brian Kelly to get Nick Rubino to manipulate that extraction.
Okay, so listen, Grant, we know that Kate Peter and Lindsay were colluding. Now, I think Lindsay was used, but come on, we know that Kate Peter and Lindsay were colluding to try to set Aiden up. You know this.
No, I disagree, because I've looked at the timeline closely. Aiden begged to go over there. When Aiden's indictments got handed down on December 20th.
He begged to go over there?
Well, listen why. Because he got charged in October, but the indictments for the October things came down December 20th. Then Lindsay.
But when did he beg to go over there?
Well, I'm about to explain. December 21st, Lindsay tells him, hey, Aiden, I just got a subpoena for a grand jury. Aiden's mind's got to start racing. Why would there be another grand jury? Is it about me and Karen Reed? What is this about? So he begged her to go over there so he could find out. And that's why he looked at her phone that night to see the messages between her and Kate to try to find out about what this new grand jury was about. So no one set him up. He begged to go over there.
So you're just assuming that he begged to go over there based on that?
No, I saw the mess. I know he begged to go over there. He was pleading because he wanted to find out what the new grand jury was
But
about.
the difference between you and Aiden is Aiden posts receipts, dude, but you don't. You know what I mean? You get the difference? That's why Aiden has as much of a following as he has. Because
if you're asking for receipts of him begging to go over there on that day, I'm happy to provide those. I'll post them. And
why didn't you do that already? But why didn't you do that already is the question.
Well, I think because what I understand to be the evidentiary record from going to all the hearings is different than what people consume, because not everyone goes to every hearing, but I'm happy to do that. I have it all archived.
Okay, but the point is, it's like Microdots is saying, is that he was baited to go over there. So even if he begged to go over there under whatever circumstance that happened, we have proof. We've seen proof that he was baited to go over there based on false information that she was pregnant.
No, she was pregnant.
No,
Absolutely,
she was.
she
What?
pregnant.
Oh
No,
my,
I will
Grant,
swear
bro.
on my-
Okay,
No, I will swear on my God about that. But no, you know why? I
my
think you
man,
might be
dude.
right.
Listen,
Hold on, Will. I was going to give you some credit. I was going to say you might have been right that the subpoena issued to Lindsay without her knowledge could have been to bait Aiden. But she wouldn't
How
have
do
known
you
that.
explain the metadata on the pictures that she sent him of the sonogram, dude?
First of all, if you are talking about someone's pregnancy, that's a medical issue, and to bring it up on air disgraces Jesus and
Oh,
God.
come
I won't
on,
do it.
Grant. Let's not. All right, fine. We won't talk about that anymore. But let's face it, dude. Like, you're making excuses for this girl, and why? Like, do you have a crush on her? Is that what's going on here? And it's okay.
Oh,
I
please.
mean,
Please. When I first came into this case, I saw a woman walk into a courtroom and I started listening to her story. And even in this conversation, there were multiple things I corrected where you were willing to say, okay, Grant, maybe that is what happened. And Lindsay doesn't have anyone out there who is voicing that for her. So I'm taking the opportunity to do it. And I know you're letting me.
do you wonder why she doesn't have anyone voicing things out for her, dude?
Because Aiden isolates people
The
tactically. to
fuck
keep
out of here
information
with
out of the
that,
public
bro. Come
sphere.
on. Stop. Like, again, with the whole it's Aiden's fault shit, man. Like, that's between you and Lindsay, dude. I'm asking, like, I asked you why you think that he's the, like, nobody is going to bat for Lindsay. And I saw receipts. I heard a recording of her. You're talking about somebody who I heard a recording of saying that she was going to pack her kids in her car, drive over to Turtleboy's driveway to perform a self-abortion in front of her children in his driveway. This is, come on, Grant.
Listen,
Like,
I was in the courtroom. I saw the people crying when that tape was played. And you know what I heard, Will?
Okay.
I heard the original version of that tape that didn't have her consent to recording, which is why he got charged with felony wiretapping.
Okay, but you're not denying that she said that, right?
Listen, I have never been awake at 12:30 in the morning. I'm not a woman. I've never been confronted with that situation. I would never pass judgment on someone in that situation. I think
Every
you know
woman
better
that
than
I've
me.
ever heard express their opinion on it, pretty negative, dude. Just saying. Pretty negative.
I don't think any of these
Especially the
people have
moms.
met her.
Especially the moms. So
I don't think anyone talking in the, I don't think you've even met this woman. And if people, instead of just reading,
you're right, I have
about
not.
her,
I have not met her.
And if I don't know if she will ever do this, but if any of you took 10 minutes, not on camera, to talk to this woman, you would find someone who believes in God, who cares about her children, who's a good mother, and who's not any of the things you're making her out to be. And by God, I will defend that till my last day.
All right. Declared. Got it. I got to ask you one more question though. Why are you saying stuff about Olivia Nile and her mom being paid agents for the defense? Come on.
Okay. Hold on. Let me just explain that. I know that that's Olivia Lamb, okay? Because
Right, yeah, same person. Yeah.
Okay, so
We all know
Christina Lamb does boutique PR consulting for lawyers. She's good at it. Olivia's good at it. They should own it. I want to interview her.
How is that proof? Olivia Lambeau. Is that proof that they're paid by the defense in some way? You see the problem, Grant?
Hold on. That is an extrapolation some people may make. My argument is only that what she does looks like PR for the defense. I think Olivia hasn't been paid since last year.
But she's saying that's not even what she does, dude.
Okay, maybe it's not, but I think Olivia's contract ran up at the end of the first trial, if you want me to be very blunt with you.
Contract?
Mm-hmm.
But her mom doesn't even do that either. What the fuck's her mom got to do with it?
Well, Why would her mom run some random boutique PR consulting firm for lawyers, and then she just shows up with this extremely high level acumen, rivaling lawyers about?
But that's not what she does. She's saying that's not even what her mom does or what she does.
Okay, well, I've looked at her mom's website. I archived it going back a few years, so I can post the screenshots again, and I know what she advertised herself as doing.
You know what I think, Grant? I think that you're a really smart guy, and I think that you know you're a really smart guy. And I think what you do is you convince, because of how smart you've convinced yourself that you are, which I do agree with, you have this mechanism in your brain that makes you convinced that because you came up with it, it's gospel and it must be true. That's what I think, and that's where I think you get cloudy on the truth, between the truth and your opinion, because you'll state your opinion as though they're fact, and I think that's an ego thing. I don't think that's even I think that's all it is. It's what it comes off as anyway, dude. Because everything you say, every time I ask you, well, where's your proof? You explain how you came to your opinion. You give me a laid out. Go back and listen to this later on. You'll see what I mean.
Well, I will listen to this, and I don't even doubt you, actually, that I'm firm in my convictions. If I'm not there to experience something, I do not know the truth. But I've seen the screenshots. I only found out Olivia Lamb was Olivia Lamb because I found a archived Twitter post where she shared something very sentimental about her grandfather. I didn't like that I found that. I didn't appreciate having to talk about that, but it became relevant because I wanted to know why she was involved in the case. I will listen to her tell me she's wrong. I want to interview her, or tell me that I'm wrong about it. I want to interview her.
Yeah, but you can't just like trap people into interviews by threatening to spread lies about them if they don't, bro. What kind of shit is that?
Oh, hold on. Nothing that I said about her grandfather, her acumen, her mother's work.
But why are you even talking about her family, dude? Like, that's really low, man. Like, that's.
I wouldn't call it low, Will.
It's low, man. It's low. Her family didn't have nothing to do with this, man. Like, she's doing this because she cares about it. And then people start talking about people's family members and shit. And it's like, it comes off as a not so subtle form of intimidation is what it comes off as, frankly, Grant.
I take that to heart.
Try to get somebody to shut up.
No, I don't want to do that. I want to learn about why she's interested.
But you could see how somebody could see it that way, right? Because what if her family starts telling her, "Hey, stop talking about this. Like, why are we being brought into your shit because you're passionate about something and you're talking about it?" What if her family does that and then puts her in an awkward position, and then, people are cheated out of some really good insight because of that?
My brother, who at 4 years old had a colectomy, 3-stage, and is developmentally disabled as a result, has a profile someone made mocking him on Twitter that people I respect engage with. I overlook that stuff because I don't believe that the people engaging in it are trying to do that to me. And I hope people will realize I'm not doing that to her. I authentically want to know what is going on.
All right. So, but that's my point is, Grant, I'm just saying, like, if you believe Kara Reed is guilty, why not just stick to the facts on that? Because, I mean, you don't see me going after anybody's family. You don't see Olivia going after anybody's family, talking about people's family and exposing their family and what they do. You know what I mean? Like, that's not cool. I don't do that. So, I mean, and Olivia's saying that she will happily talk to you anytime about why she's interested in the case. You see what I mean? That's my point. That's my point. Is if you believe so much in Karen Reed's guilt, nobody's saying nobody's trying to. I mean, yes, I believe in Karen Reed's innocence. So yes, I would like you to change your mind. That would be nice. But I don't believe I believe so strongly in the truth that the facts being out there speak for themselves, and that's enough. So what if you believe so much in Karen Reed's guilt, then the facts should speak, and that should be it. Everything that you put out there as far as the facts and details of the case and the way that you interpret those facts, that should be enough. You shouldn't have to bring people's family members or who's talking about it into it. You know what I mean? Like, that's, come on. I feel like you're better than that. That's all. you know,
Yeah,
I still have faith that you're better than that.
Yeah, and I think that's a perfect place to end because you've given me a lot of time, and I share your sentiments. I think that is crucially important. You don't see me out there in the past 6 months, 12 months talking about Olivia or her parents or Melanie Little.
I have seen improvement. Yes, I have seen improvement for sure.
And let me just say why. It's because I came to believe that there was just this toxic atmosphere surrounding this case, and that I couldn't just say I thought it needed to change. I wanted to reflect it in my actions, and that's why that happened. So that's it. That's how I feel.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, everybody's entitled to their feelings and opinions, man. We all are. But yeah, I mean, I'm glad that we got this talk. I got to express some things that I wanted to express to you. You were very receptive, and I appreciate you coming on and being respectful and being cool. And you're welcome here anytime, Grant. We can I could see that we could talk about pretty much anything, and it's fine. So that is always welcome here. No matter what we disagree on, that will always be welcome here. So I appreciate you, Grant.
All right. God bless. Well, enjoy the rest of your
You too,
Saturday.
bud. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right. Grant, y'all. All right. I'm going to take another call. Let's do that.
Call from
You're on. Who am I speaking with?
Becky,
Hi, Becky. What's up?
how are you?
Doing well. How are you?
Good. And I just wanted to say about the new things that come out, the new evidence
Okay.
against KP.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you think that they would have bowed out a long time ago? Because the more they push the turtle, the more the turtle snaps.
Well, it's a little corny, but yeah. I mean, that's true. It's true. There's always a Streisand effect. Like, I don't know why they haven't learned. What's up, Nurse Kim? I mean, you're right. There's always the Streisand effect that always takes place, man. You know,
They could have gotten out of it a long time ago, but like Morrissey, they're not even good criminals.
No, they're not. They're not.
If I was a good criminal, I would have said, okay, I had enough. I think I'll retire now. And none of this would have been coming out.
Right. Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Should I teach them how to be a better criminal? I don't know. They're just not good at it.
I agree. They're not good liars, but I think because I remember I asked Alan Jackson this when I first met him, and he was in full defense mode. It was during the first trial, and we had just had lunch, and we were walking back to the courthouse from the church, and I was like, why do you think that they just do this so blatantly in everyone's face? Like, how did they not see that he's like power? He's like, they just don't think that they could be held accountable. You know, that's it.
No, but they see this evidence coming out. We see it. It's in writing. Turtleboy has receipts.
Yeah.
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 It's not just hearsay like KP's throwing garbage out there, and
it's so fucking
I don't
crazy.
get it.
It's so crazy. I don't understand it
I
either.
mean, if you kept getting receipts against me, I would have said, okay, have a nice day. I think I'll retire today.
Right.
And then they'd start poking in my business, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
That's what I can't understand, why they keep
Yeah. And
doing more and more.
Microdots is making a good point. I mean, they're the house at the casino. You know, the house always wins. They think that they're always going to win, you know, but
exactly.
To quote George Clooney, sometimes you take the house, you know, it happens.
Yeah,
but you know, I
yeah,
mean, it takes a
hopefully
hell of a
we'll
fight
see.
here. You know what I mean? This is a little different, you know, because casino was a good analogy, but moving forward now, it just boils down to a fight and resources. You know, now it boils down to having resources and being able to fight this and pay the experts and You know, luckily the
Yeah.
attorneys are working out of the goodness of their hearts. So, you know,
But you arrest Turtleboy, who's gonna get you flipping phone records.
right. Yeah.
And that leaves a receipt and a trail.
Yeah.
So that's why I just can't understand why they keep a leash. I don't understand why they're poking a hemp, because that's dangerous. That's dangerous in itself.
Yeah.
You know,
I agree.
maybe not just keep poking at Karen, but by poking at Turtleboy. Turtleboy's not stupid, and neither his, Mark Bedwell. They're going to say, fine, arrest me. Now give me 5 pieces of documents for this.
Agreed.
I don't know. I just don't get it. I think they're, Morrissey's dumber than I thought, not just fat. He's stupid. He's not even a good criminal.
Okay. All right.
All right. Well, you have a nice day.
All right. You too. Thank you for calling. I appreciate it.
Okay. See you later. Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye. All right. I'll take one more call. Nurse Kim, great live this morning. That was great. All right.
Call from.
You're on. Who am I speaking with?
Yo, this is Tony. What's up, Glenn?
What's up, Tony?
I have a question. Where did the stone go today?
Where did what?
The stone go.
The stove go? I don't know what you're saying, dude.
The stone that was at Fairview. It's missing. Somebody must have planted it for the jury.
Oh, yeah. Somebody no doubt planted it for the jury. For sure, they planted it for the jury. Because it wasn't there when I was there a year ago. And you,
Yeah, I find that weird.
What do you think that the new owners of the house is they're mowing around that shit?
Exactly what I said, man. I wish somebody had a camera to see who put that there.
Right. Yeah. I mean, if the defense were so inclined, it became such an issue, then they would subpoena some ring camera footage from around the neighborhood for sure. If it were such an issue, but I don't know. We'll see. Hey,
that's all I had, man.
Oh, okay, cool. All right. Yeah, I was gonna tell you to turn me down in the background, but you're hanging up anyway, so it's all good.
You're the best, man.
All right,
Great
thanks,
job.
Tony. Appreciate you, Tony. Have a good one. Bye.
All right. Bye.
Call from.
You're on. Who am I speaking with?
Hi, my name's Kelly.
What's up, Kelly?
The reason why I'm calling is because I saw that they arrested that man, Bayo, I think his name was.
Yeah.
For lingering. Well, I went to check out the courthouse the day after he was arrested to be able to just, see what was going on or whatever. And I was able to take pictures and video of Karen coming out, and I stood in the same spot across the street. And I just think it's wrong that he was arrested.
Yeah. I mean, well, that's the whole thing is now supposedly I heard that he had warrants initially, and then later I heard that he didn't. So the fact that he was charged by anybody who gets arrested because of the buffer zone shouldn't have been arrested, period, because the buffer zone is unconstitutional. Period.
Right.
Wrong. Like he has a right to take pictures. He has just as much of a right as any member of the press to stand there and take pictures as any one of them. He has every right, just as many just as much right as any of them. So
yeah, because when I got there, I saw the buffer zone sign, so I passed it, and there were a bunch of officers standing around, and I said, "Hey, excuse me, I just don't want to. I want to be clear on where I'm allowed to walk and where I can't, because I don't want to get in trouble." They're like, "Oh, you can walk anywhere." They said, "You can walk up and down the sidewalk," and I said, "Am I allowed to take pictures?" Yeah, I was just trying to feel it out, and they were like, "Yeah, you can take pictures." so strange.
Yeah, agreed. Agreed. I mean, it's so weird. Like, but I mean, I don't know. The thing is they had trouble with him last year at the first trial. Like,
Yeah,
he had
I don't
problems
know
with
the whole
Tom.
story. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
I don't remember the whole story. I remember watching it, but he had problems with Tom, and I don't remember
Yeah.
exactly what it was. But yeah, so I mean, maybe they remembered him from last time, and they just didn't have
Right.
patience.
Well, when you watch
Either
the
way,
video and you don't have any context, it's like, holy crap! They like that cop charged at him, and the other guy was just explaining like, oh yeah, go down there, the buffer zone, or
yeah.
So yeah, I just thought I'd call in.
No, I appreciate it. Thank you for calling.
Okay, you're doing a great job.
Thanks. I appreciate it.
All right, take care.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, I got time for one more call.
Call from.
You're on. Who am I speaking with?
Hey, Will. Happy Saturday. This is Dana.
What's up, Dana?
Nothing much. I will keep it short and sweet. I have a
Okay.
question for you, and I don't know, you might have addressed this already in the live, and I might have missed it, so I'll be short and sweet. Did you or have you seen the user on YouTube that has done, he took like a Lexus taillight and he's done a couple of, I don't know, like experiments on the back of the taillight. Have you seen that?
Yeah, I have.
Did you see his most recent one where he talks about the fact that like where you can see like on the photograph of Kieran's, the back of her car, you can see how the salt and like slush or whatever has splashed up and sort of like it hasn't obviously been washed and has left like marks on the back of her car, but there's nothing on the inside of her taillight. Have you seen that video yet?
No, I have not watched that one yet.
It's very interesting. Nobody go there now, obviously, stay in your life. But I thought it's so interesting because it's something I wouldn't have thought about. But anyways, I won't get into it because I'm going to stay short because I know you're trying to like be done with taking calls and I'll keep it short. But it's
No, you're
super
good.
interesting. So when you get a chance, I think you should check it out because he just shows how all around her car, which you can see in the photographs, like in the Sally Port, how there's you can see how where the salt, she drove it obviously through, that night, the next morning, all the way until, and then it got towed and it was on the back. So you can see like how where the salt, I live also in Tennessee, not far from you. And so we're not used to having like salt trucks on the road, but you can see obviously down there, you can see how it's on there. So that would also, if she had, if that had happened at 12:30 in the morning as she's driving, and if it was exposed like that, the inside, there would be nothing to protect all of the inside of her taillight. However, there's all of that is around it, but you don't see any of the same, I don't know what the word would be, but you don't see any evidence of that on the inside of her taillight. It's super interesting.
Yeah, they're saying no saltwater stains inside the taillight housing.
Right, which there would be, obviously, if it had been, obviously she drove home that night, then she drove the next morning, then all the way back to her parents. So it would have been there if the taillight had been cracked, like they said. And you can see that in the photograph. I just think it's super interesting. I know it's off of the topic of
I mean,
safety, but
it's fine. Talk about whatever you want when you call in. You're good.
yeah, I think you would, obviously I was like, oh, I want to tell him about it, but I'm like, don't go look at it now. Stay in his live right now. But I think that he does, I think that's a super interesting point that I would have never thought of. And just yet another notch on, I mean, not that anybody needs that, right? Obviously but anyways, I thought I would ask you about that.
No, yeah, I had not seen the most recent one, but yeah, I have. It was pretty interesting. I mean, the thing is like, I didn't put that much into that only because I already know. I don't need a guy who's a taillight expert to tell me that John O'Keefe's elbow didn't crack that fucking taillight. You know what I mean? Like it's so hard plastic. Like there's just no way it happened. Like the only
100%.
right. The only way is if like John O'Keefe's elbow was like suspended and like
Titanium
no
and
way it could have moved. No way it could have moved. Not just like it would have swung in some way. Like, you know what I mean? There would have been no give, and there's no way that he wouldn't have received any injuries to his elbow to the bone. So, I mean, it just doesn't make sense that like the plastics are way too hard. Doesn't matter how
right.
fast. it was
I know,
going.
and that's what I was saying. It's not like there's. I think for most people who have, you know, common sense, we already know. But I also think like just piling up, and I think the science is there, but also just piling up those little notches where you're like, oh, that's just yet another, you know, way to show that that's just another talking point of like, okay, so there's this, obviously the science, but I just thought that was so interesting. And I guess I just never, I think being from, you know, I'm from the South, I just think I had never thought about the way salt and slush kind of splashes up on cars and leaves until you get a chance to, you know, get a car wash that leaves a mark. And you can clearly see in the photographs in the Sally Port that none of that is evidence on the inside of her housing, which would be there if it wasn't protected.
Yeah, but I
So
mean, that's not total proof that it would be there either. Like, you know what I mean? Like it might have been there. It could have been there. It makes sense that it might have been there. It could have even likely have gotten there, and there could have been unlikely, but it's possible that it wouldn't have caused any stains. You know what I mean? It's still possible, unless there's
maybe, I
some
don't know, because you
explanation
can see it's
unless there's some explanation as to why you can explain that there absolutely was no way that it wouldn't have left those saltwater stains.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the inside of that is made of. I don't obviously know any of that, but you
Thank
can
you,
see that
Krista.
it's on like the right side. It's on the other. You can see it's all around it, like around where her taillight is. It's
Yeah.
all adhered there. You'd have to see it, but there's nothing on the inside. So, but good point. I have no idea what the, you know, inside of her. I don't know if it would stick. I don't know what that means, but I will not keep you any long. I just thought that was so interesting, and I thought that you'd find that interesting. So
No,
I
it is
comment,
interesting.
but I will not
No,
keep
no,
you any
no.
longer.
It's totally interesting. It's absolutely interesting. I'm saying I just, you know what I mean? I don't know if it would actually prove that.
Yeah.
That
Well,
her
and I'm
taillight
sure,
was,
obviously,
you know what I
her
mean?
defense team they're on top of stuff, but
I
it's
mean,
just another thing that I was like,
right. Yeah. I mean, there's just
yeah,
a lot of shit that just makes it like, no way. You know, no way.
yeah. Not that we need more, but you're the best, Will. Truly, I don't want you to play that funny music when I'm like hyping you up and you're like the music where you're like, "La." I don't want you to do that to me.
No,
So I'll
no,
just
I
say,
won't do that.
I'll just say all those things that people say are so true. You're amazing. So thank you for everything you do.
Thanks.
Have
I
the best
appreciate it.
Saturday. Okay, bye. I won't keep you. Okay, bye.
No, you're awesome. Thank you so much. All right, folks. Shutting down the phone lines. Yeah, man. Yeah, so I'm really interested. I'm really interested to see where this is gonna go. But like I said many times before, folks, you cannot properly tell the Karen Reed story without telling the Turtleboy story. It just is, whether you like it or not, whether it's something you want to accept, whether it just fucking is. You know, like Turtleboy has he is the absolute driving force behind the information that we have that that leads the public to invest in this third party culprit defense. And it is simply because he proved it. He proved that this is the right road to go down. So, I mean, this is not something that you can ignore. You can't ignore this. So it just is what it is. And it's just going to keep happening. It's going to keep happening. More stuff is going to come out. It's just going to, one thing after the other, more stuff is going to come out. It's been nonstop, you know, like it's crazy. Like I'm every time something new happens, I have to text certain people who are aware of the case, right? Who are aware of the case, but they're not privy to everything because they haven't been following it in real time for the past year and a half. You know what I'm saying? Hey, what's up, Deets? It's not, you know what I mean? So now it's like I have to like be like, okay, oh, so did you hear about this? Did you hear about that? Like every motion, there's always a new motion, you know. And now these things are these motions are now having Turtleboy's name on them. And if what we're seeing is true, if this person who came forward and said the things that they said in this affidavit, if what they're saying is true, we're going to see some behavior changes coming from the Commonwealth in both the Karen Reed case and the Turtleboy case. Of course, the Turtleboy case, but specifically the Karen Reed case, it's going to be interesting because in the Karen Reed case, you're going to see either Turtleboy's name come up a lot less or a lot more. And when it starts to come up a lot less, I would imagine that somewhere around that little time period, you're going to see Kate Peter in jail. That's what my prediction is. Because if this stuff is true, the only way for the Commonwealth to even attempt to cover their own asses is to throw Kate Peter under the bus and say, hey, how can we be protecting her if she's in jail? How could we be promising her protection from the Commonwealth if she's in jail? She's crazy. I don't know what she's talking about. So, Kate Peter, your days are numbered. Your of freedom, those days are numbered. Telling you. But yeah, man, this has been absolutely wild, man. I really appreciate you guys hanging out with me today. That means the world to me. I realize other people went live about this, and some people took off because of guests that are appearing and that sort of thing. But you guys that are my McLeans, man, that shit is something that has always kept me going. Is the fact that I've got McLeans. That means fucking everything to me. So just the fact that you guys took time out of your Saturday to hang out with me means I don't even know what to tell you how much that means to me. So thank you guys so much. It really, really means a lot. Again, I want to thank everybody for hitting the like. Make sure to do that if you haven't already. It really helps me out. And if you're not subscribed, make sure to subscribe. If you're new subscribers, I really hope you're enjoying the channel. As I said, I run my channel a little different than most of the other YouTubers out there talking about this, but I wouldn't change a thing. Oh, Annie Elise went on News Nation. Sweet. That's awesome. But I wouldn't change a thing. And I have you guys to thank for that, because you guys show up all the time and remind me. So it means everything to me. And so guys, thank you guys for and thank you guys for your donations yesterday for Janet Reed's birthday. And that was awesome. I appreciate you guys and all the support. You guys are amazing. It means the world to me. I'm gonna go back to Boston soon. I just don't know when. But all of those contributions, man, really help me going to Boston. Not the ones going to Karen. Karen gets those, but the ones going to me. That stuff helps me going to Boston, because that's what I end up spending my money on anyway. And I'm happy to do it, and I always look forward to it because I love hanging out with you guys. But I do love you guys very much. You guys are absolutely fantastic. And we will do this again very soon, my friends.